podcast. Ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys. I be your robustly cheerful and totally still conscious DM Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more satisfaction than if I had just declared victory by correctly observing that I hold the high ground to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove, and our third international Talk Like Josh the Pirate, a charity marathon. Around me, I have my hearty crew, the preternatural DreadedGM, the supernatural Sir Terris, the paranormal Promethean, and the mystical Mike Moans. So, let's talk about these lovely folks. Dread, who the absolute heck are you?
Me? You know, I'm still figuring that out, but I will say this. I love TTRPGs. I love creativity. I love telling stories with people, and you can find me at some point during the week trying my best to do just that. You can find me on the DreadedGM channel. Most weeks on Thursday nights, I run a Call of Cthulhu campaign, Horror on the Orient Express. And as horrifying as it is so much fun, and I'm very excited to be running that with my amazing crew over there from all across the internet. Yeah, I want to say at the top of the docket, congratulations! Heck yeah, guys! That goal, bam, smashed it. That's gonna help so many people, and pirates be proud. Yeah, heck yeah, we're all beautiful. So that's my pun. That's my pirate pun. Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much. Mike, who the heck are you, mate?
My name is Mike Moans. I'm a miniature painter from Manchester, England. Most of what I do is building grand scale terrain for tabletop, but I also work from the very, very small to like little pets and wild shapes. So don't you love having 2 shepherd druids in the party where you have to paint 25 models just to keep them happy? It's the best. But no, honestly, I really do enjoy what I do. I've been working away on some dungeons and lasers. So we're currently, as a stream and as a YouTube, we're building a massive castle, which is fully modular, fully playable, rebuildable. It works as a set piece. It works as a full map. It is the best. I'm absolutely loving what I'm doing right now. So thank you very much for having me here. And I've been a mini painter who you don't see many of us on the platform. So
See the face. Promethean, who the absolute heck are you?
Oh, hi, I'm the token mediocre guy, but you will find me lurking around on such channels as It's Fate's Grip and Meeples and Dragons, playing assorted characters and assorted campaigns, and running one on the OzQuest channel, also as a very noob DM, growing my little DM wings and loving it. And I play a bunch of games as well.
You take that back, Promethean. You're amazing.
Yeah, deal with it.
Take it back. Good vibes.
Terris, who the heck are you?
Oh, yes. Hello. Hello, I am Sir Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. I do not stream myself, so you will not find me on the internet space, except for when I pop up in lovely places like here with Josh the Pirate and various other places like a microbiologist channel or over on the Lawrite channel from time to time. That not streaming may change soon with mice.
But soon, mice. And mesdames et messieurs, damen und herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. Yes, and today we are raising money for childhood cancer support, which is a really cool charity because they tackle something that a lot of other charities don't. There are plenty of charities that are there to support people who have cancer. What there aren't a lot of charities for is people who need support because their children have cancer. In Australia, more than 20% of people live in rural areas. 95% of the country is rural, so there's quite a lot of people out there, and they don't have ready access to hospital wards and places that their children can get treatment for cancer. So traveling in is a massive burden, and childhood cancer support helps people with that burden. They provide hospital stay, they provide accommodation while they're in getting the treatment, they provide transport to and from the airport, mental health support, and social support as well, all for people with children who are struggling with cancer, which is absolutely amazing for them. Toward that, we have currently raised $1,670 and the very important 69 cents. It wouldn't be a Twitch charity stream without 69 cents coming in there.
Nice.
nice.
And that was
Nice.
well played by, who was it? Who did it? It was Pixie Wink Wonk, of course it was. And toward that, we have some incredible donations from some wonderful businesses. We have the amazing Wooten Forge gaming accessories, home of WA and possibly even the world's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, made of all of Australian and exotic hardwoods, like this gorgeous Jarrah Dice Keeper, what I have right here. I imagine Dread's got a few bits and pieces of their stuff floating around your desk as well.
You know, like this thing doesn't like.
Phew. Oh, look at that. Personalized embossed with the logo. Sexy, sexy stuff. They do all of that. They have donated 2 Jarrah Adventurers chests, which contain enough space for a... I've got one here. This is my Adventurers chest. So you can put a full set of polyhedral dice on one side and then a mini in the other, and they're padded. They've got these little pads in them, so that the mini will not be damaged. I actually use this one exclusively to transport minis. It's dead handy for that. And mine is made of chubut. Gorgeous Australian wood.
Many, many pretties.
Very, very pretty things. Head on over to woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove for some cheeky little discounts over there. They have donated 2 of those and a Jarrah Dice Keeper as well, which is hecking amazing of them. Then, Roll With Advantage chipped in 6 sets of gorgeous dice. One of them is this set, which I'm going to be rolling with today. This is this session's dice. The gorgeous, they look coral, but they also have like glitter in the weave as well. Very, very pretty things. And for the next part, the very first bit of the session, I will also be rolling their D100 they sent me. Look at that mirror ball. It's the size, it's bigger than my eye. It's huge, and it rolls really well, surprisingly nicely. And they come in the beautiful fluffy sacks, the little furry sacks. All of their dice come in little furry sacks, and they also have loads of stickers as well. So those sets of those will be in the prize pool too. Then Meeples and Dragons, the wonderful folks over at Meeples and Dragons, have given us $150 worth of gift cards to their online store, so you can pick up some wonderful D&D themed glassware or potentially dice. Oh, Promethean's got a few bits and pieces. Which ones have you got there? You've got the whiskey glass and the tankard. What design?
Whiskey glass and the tankard. The tankard is the ranger for my
character
on the Meeples and Dragons stream. The whiskey glass is the game master glass.
Nice.
As a present for me starting my first campaign.
Oh, amazing.
My stemless wine glass broke. I broke it up. So sorry.
I lost a sorcerer stemless wine glass by tipping out an orange slice into the recycling, and it just hit the lid of the recycling, went just shattered. And I was like, well, I've still got the artificer.
I collided an inferior non-Meeples and Dragons coffee mug into mine. Didn't go well. Yeah.
No, that was solid F there. But they are beautiful things. Check them out there. And then our final sponsor is a very new association we have made. Troll Lord Games have dropped about $150 worth of donations for gift cards for their online store as well. So you can pick up some interesting stuff from their online store, all towards their own system, Castles and Crusades, which is a really interesting system. It's a little bit more rules light than 5e, and I am planning on running a game of it here on Corsairs Cove. So you can check them out there. They also have a Kickstarter live at the moment for their new expansion, the Codex Infernum and the Codex Exaltum for angels and demons in their world. And I'm like, even if you don't play the system, it'll still give you some really cool inspiration, and the artwork is just going to be phenomenal. They have it's like classic D&D, like advanced D&D style artwork. It's the true Gary Gygax stuff. They are classic operators and very, very cool people, and we appreciate the heck out of them. So every $5 Australian dollary-doos you donate puts you in the draw to win one of those amazing prizes. There's a lot. There's like 20 odd prize packs. So that's going to be pretty heckin' cool. And if you do not have the pennies to donate, that is absolutely fine, because we have a new thing this year where if you go on Instagram and upload a video of yourself doing your best Josh the Pirate introduction impression, and then tag Corsairs Cove on Instagram, we would love to see those, and the finest one will win a Troll Lord Games voucher as well. So everybody can win regardless of financial position. Guys, which I think is really lovely. Oh. I'm Josh the Pirate, and I endorse this message.
Hello. Just quickly, I just want to say this quickly. You're doing CNC on CNC, so sorry. My
very
my
good.
one
Yes.
ADHD thing that I had to say it. That's
very appropriate. I like it. I must also remind our otherworldly, cryptic, and possibly even uncanny audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have the YouTube, where you can see all the episodes you may have missed of all of our other campaigns. We have a short-run campaign in this system, YouTube, with Geo from OzQuest, and the wonderful Brendan Ellis, Karen, and Ardana were the players in that one, where we ran a little short form one. This is the only other system I have run in Humblewood. I did a game of this set in the Humblewood, and it was very fun. Hey Nicole, how are you? And I think that's about all the things we need to talk about. Our music today is provided by Sirenscape. And mateys, may your extra credit assignments be surprisingly easy and all your spells yield the desired result as we head, tremulously at first and then with mounting heat and passion, once more into International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day. So, gents, your characters are all wizards at a wizard school, the Cloisters of the Dying Light College in Hazeloft, which is set in my homebrew setting of Telos. And you all know each other a bit, but I like the getting to know you rules from Teens in Space, so I have modified them, and we're going to do a little bit of that before we even begin to work out how you guys know each other. So the rules are here. I will select somebody. In fact, I will have a microbiologist roll a d4 in chat, please, starting 1 at Terris, down to 4 at Promethean, going across the screen. A microbiologist, if you would roll exclamation mark, roll space, the number 4 in chat to see who goes first. That person will select somebody else to answer a question about, and then I will tell you the question. That's a 2. That's Dread. Dread, who would you like to answer a question about?
Oh, interesting. I think I'm gonna go with... Let's go with Moan.
Like Moans, okay.
Yeah.
So, Dale, you're going to be answering a question about Dale Wensley. And, Mike, tell us about Dale Wensley. Who is he? What does he look like? Where does he go? What does he do?
Dale Wensley is, if you imagine Hagrid, but slightly shorter but more broad, almost like the proportions of a dwarf. So he's wearing a giant chain, almost like Mr. T, but with a block of cheese on it. He has almost like a name tag, like he's some kind of member of authority, and it says the High Parmesan. And he walks around with a very big swagger.
Excellent.
But there you go.
Alrighty. Now, Dread, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Exactly.
Iluv.
That's...
Is it?
Yep.
I love.
Yeah. It's one of those names. I love this archetype. Like, it's up to you to decide what it is, and people get it wrong or they get it right, but you'll never know.
All right, Iluve.
That's in the next season.
Stephen.
Yep.
So, I'm going to roll the D100 to determine which question you get. That is a 6 on the chart. What would losing Dale mean to Iluve?
Losing Dale?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And when you answer this question, both of you have to play the answer.
I like this.
You get to establish the level of your relationship. It could be as little as, I wouldn't fucking care. Or it would be, oh my god, that would end my existence. Like losing the Lord of Cheese. Oh god. Yeah.
I think that it would be one of those things where I would have to find the Lord of Cheese because there is there's a sub friendship there that's forming, and it's kind of like a Lancer sort of relationship. We question and challenge each other in such a way that I need the cheese so that I can decide on who I am and what I'm doing in this world. I need that counterpoint. I need that. It's almost like the rival that you have in like animes and stuff like that. So we'll go with that.
Kaiba.
Yeah, exactly right. Like Vegeta, Goku, Kaiba, Yugi. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
They've been known to team up, but they also are sort of genial rivals sometimes.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Dale, who would you like to answer a question about? Gonzo or Thraz? We lost a mic.
I'm not hearing anything.
That
I don't know what's going on here.
Oh.
Something
Oh,
cut out.
I'm asking Mike. Who would you like to answer a question about?
Ooh, I will go with Gonzo.
Gonzo?
Sorry, my entire audio just sparked for some reason.
No worries, all good. Alrighty, so Promethean, who and what is Gonzo?
The what is difficult to describe with Gonzo is some kind of inexplicably undefinable goblinoid type creature, it seems. Beyond that, it's very difficult to put any kind of taxonomy on what exactly Gonzo is. Very, very short little dude who kind of wanders around shuffling. He wears a very plain but quite clearly too large for him and yellowing as though it's much, much older than possibly he is robe, which doesn't look like it's ever been washed in the history of any existence ever. And wears a cool hat. Not only a cool kind of standard wizardly type hat, but also keeps stuff in his bag. An even cooler, even more wizardly hat that he sometimes brings out, depending on the requirements.
Amazing. Nicole Standing, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Dale, what would it take for you to leave Gonzo behind?
I would need it to be kind of distracting from my higher purpose. You'll find that Dale is reaching a rather important goal, at least in their head. So anything that they can reasonably do to prevent problems, they would do, unless it was for, well, it would stand in the way of the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Our Lord and Savior. Amazing. Microbiologist, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Excellent. Alright, so Gonzo, don't get in the way of his higher calling and you'll be fine. Right, Gonzo, this leaves you to answer a question about Thraz. Terris, who and what is Thraz?
Thraz is Thraz. He is a gnoll. He is big. And he is fabulous. He has dyed his mane purple. He carries around a giant staff with like the upper half of a skeleton's torso on it. And he wears the most flamboyantly purple robes he can find at any given time.
Love it. Alrighty. So, the question is, Gonzo, what potential do you see in Thraz that they don't?
From Gonzo's perspective, no one's beyond a bit of beneficial transmutation of some kind.
Excellent.
Sam.
So, an improvement, basically. Okay,
Absolutely.
I love it.
And that improvement may be physical, it may be mental, but if and when the circumstances call for it, absolutely wielding incredible power to transform to some degree. Thraz's form or mind is on the cards.
I love it. Thraz, that means you're going to be answering a question about Iluve. So let's have a... now, who and what is Iluve?
Who and what is Iluve was the question?
Yeah. Who and or what? What do we see when we meet Iluve?
Right. So, you see a wizard wearing a robe and the wizard hat and the staff that is predominantly green, but there are patches all throughout that hum with a very slight radial glow just around the borders. You don't know exactly why that is, but they look like a patchwork wizard. Their face is normal. They look very much like me. And if you've seen my wizard, my green wizard, it's very much like that. So big long dreadlocks. We have the hats, which has, in certain angles, looks like it has features, like facial features on it, but you can't quite be sure. And the staff itself it seems to always smoke and smolder as cinders are just on this like splayed and splintered part, as if it's been struck by something. They look wiry and they look a little bit paranoid as they look around the room and are always watching the shadows.
Oh,
Cool.
shiny.
So, Thraz, when did you realize that you felt strong feelings for this person, either romantically or platonically, positively or negatively? I was just like, wow, this one just came up. I rolled it, and I was like, are they going to get married again? Is this what's going to happen?
Look, I think that every game that me and Terris playing from now on, our characters are gonna probably get married.
I think it's just what Terris
Probably.
does, because his character
Yeah.
and mine are having a serious flirtatious relationship right now as well.
Yes.
In
yes, we
Ardana's
are.
game, so yeah.
Well, Thraz, I think Thraz realized that they were destined to have a shared destiny the day that Iluve found him curled up in a bunch of rags, thought he was a dog, because they were both little boys, or little children, thought he was a dog and brought him home.
Oh my goodness, I love it. That's amazing. All right, that's
Mom,
fantastic.
Dad, look what followed me home.
I found him.
When he
I love him.
Yeah, when he found out that he was secretly in love with Iluve,
Aw.
was probably when they started college. And he realized that there were a lot of not so standard relationships out there.
Mm.
Maybe gnolls deserve love too.
Maybe. If Baldur's Gate has taught me a lot of things, not that yet.
I like the yet.
Yet.
it's got mod support. Yeah, we can take it as far as we need.
Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to flip it around. We're going to start with Terris. But before we do, I would like to go around the room. What are our schools of magic? It's school of magic is the wrong term. Spell style. What is the style of magic that you all cast? Thraz, what kind of magic do you do?
I chose undeath, but I'm sort of coloring that more like necrotics, like anything that is dead,
Mhm.
rather than undeath. So it's sort of more like a death magic. He can control the elements of death.
Sure.
Like,
Love it.
not that he can kill someone like that, but like if there is something dead, he can manipulate that in some way.
Interesting. Okay, cool. And Gonzo, transmutation?
No, you would think that. No, Gonzo uses kind of also flavored one of the baked in options, multiversal entropy. So the idea is Gonzo channels the energy of other universes into our own to create magical power, which may or may not be absolutely catastrophic for the universe from which that power is drawn. But hey, it's not happening here, so it's not really a problem.
Okay.
I love it.
Multiversal energy.
Entropy, yeah.
Entropy. Okay, cool. Right. I love it. Cool. Dale, is it cheese?
You would think so. You would not be far off. His power heralds directly from the Holy Jesus, and he takes that through him, and he is the last cheese bender.
Excellent. Okay, your first point of hubris is free. That's the equivalent of you can have
for the amount of cheese puns so far. You can have my first point of hubris whenever that arises.
That this system doesn't really have like inspiration or anything like that, but yeah, I'll give you a free hubris for that one. That's very funny. And Iluve, what style of magic?
I'm going to be very careful not to give you guys the pronunciation. I'm not going to reference my character. I'll tell you how it's pronounced at the end. But I spent 2 points. I believe I can take 2 if I spend 2 points.
You can?
Yeah,
Absolutely can.
My concept is portals and copies.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's what I would go with. That's my magic. Let's see how far we can take this.
Portal magic.
I have some other cool ideas as well.
Heck yeah. Yeah. So you've got 2 schools of magic and then 3 points spent between
Yeah.
shift, bloviate, evocate, and ponder. Excellent.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well then, Thraz, who would you like to answer a question about?
Gonzo.
Gonzo. All right, flipping it right back around. We get a 53, which I half because I've only got 50 options on mine. So that's 26. How did this person get you all banned from the last village/tavern/kingdom you were in?
How?
Yes.
I think when he was sucking magic out of another universe, he potentially drew something else through with him. And I think that was an iPhone that was playing heavy metal on its iTunes playlist, causing everybody to panic and run away.
He'd summoned the demon phone. Yeah. Excellent.
Yes.
Amazing. And I will allow you to
until the battery died.
Yeah. I was about to say, I'm like, and you guys got a lot of mileage out of that one, right? Cool. Checking. You know, everything else is working. It's just Tiltify that stopped. Okay, cool. The last eye caller. Gonzo, who would you like to answer a question about?
It has to be the chief high priest of our Lord and Savior, Jesus.
Okay, excellent. Yes, answer a question about Dale. Get that all the time. Okay. How close have you come to killing this person?
So close, so many times, but mostly entirely by accident.
I love that you got that question when we played Teens in Space about my character, and you kept trying to make me walk in you and poison myself.
Yeah, that was fun. In this case, it's absolutely not sheer hostility. It's entirely accidental. You know, when you mess with incredible power, you are slapped in the face with incredible responsibility, and sometimes that responsibility slaps the cheese.
Slaps the cheese. Mike, this means you must be answering a question about Iluve. Let's see what we get. I was like, I don't know why I'm asking you. 96, that means a 48. What role would this person have filled in an evil organization?
I think they would be keeping both morale and distractions. So it's like, we're not really doing evil. We're all having a good time together.
Yeah, having a lovely
This
time.
is fine.
Yeah.
We're all just homies. Yeah.
Like the baddies?
It's not a corporation of evil. This isn't a horrible plot. No,
it's all
we're just
subjective.
fun together.
Yeah.
Depends on the context and who's deciding what
Theory
evil
of
is.
relativities.
Yeah,
The universe is being destroyed.
exactly. Yeah.
All right, Iluve. That means you're answering a question about Thraz. Thraz, Bone Grinder. 78. Hard math. 39. What or who is this person a huge fan of, and why? Do you share this opinion?
Wait, is this my question? So sorry.
Yes,
someone
you're
else's?
answering this about Thraz.
Right. Okay, cool. What was the question again?
What or who is this person a massive fan of, and why?
Apart from me? Okay. Sorry. There's the love thing. I was making a joke on the love thing. Okay. Fan of. There is a multiversal bard wizard that's just like they are the star. They actually know astral magic, so that's kind of cool. But they only show up in a multiverse like once or twice in any one lifetime, and we've been trying to get tickets to go there, as friends. But they might be coming. We don't know. They might not be coming. But we've listened to all the songs on repeat, and to the point where we can actually just like sing them backwards. Is that acceptable?
Neat.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay.
I
I haven't named it though.
Fantastic. I think that's everybody's had 2. So, I think we shall begin. Get into the actual gameplay of it. So, the gameplay is really quite easy, and it can actually even be played DM-less, because the game itself, the rules themselves, contain a system for creating an adventure. So what you do is you roll on a little table, and it chucked up 2 adventures for me, and then I just made them up, basically. You get 2 options, and I will tell you at the end what the options I rolled actually were, but I have fleshed them out a little bit. So, the sun rises over Hazeloft, illuminating the shadowed halls and cloisters of the Dying Light College, the great mage school of Wrens. Few know of its existence, and even fewer its location, but the school has been turning out spellcasters and dealing with magical phenomena for centuries. Such is the school's secrecy that finding the way in is considered the entrance application. In many ways, the line between teacher and pupil is blurred here, the deans and professors often handling lessons and lectures off to visiting scholars, senior or specialized students, or occasionally even extrapalanar entities. Often a student will head out into the world, returning periodically for a season of study before heading out again. Most students study what fancy takes them, and exercises or assignments are completed more for the learning opportunity that they represent than for a good grade. And so it is that 4 fellow students, maybe old hands, maybe quite new to the school, are in want of a new task to engage themselves with this afternoon. It is early morning. You have all sort of met up in the main hall, and the scene is yours.
You can normally find Dale almost like one of those glass orbs, just bouncing a ball of molten cheese, fiddling and keeping their head down just in the corner.
So at the end of the hall, the main hall of the Dying Light is the hall of fractal prisms. It is splendid at this time of day. The walls themselves are polished grey stone. However, the air within the hall itself shifts and changes along fractal lines, like a kaleidoscope, as though filled with the slowly spinning panes of coloured glass, so that the very air itself is alive with the colour as the sun streams in through the domed ceiling. It's rumoured the effect is caused by a weakening of reality by the concentration of magic within the school. The space changes function throughout the day, shifting from eating hall to lecture space to occasionally dueling area, as the occasion calls for it. Currently, the area is mostly empty. A couple of students are enjoying the light show, and a cleaning automata is dusting the floors, its rubber wheels squeaking. A long table houses the remains of breakfast, and I'm imagining that Dale is sitting at one end of it, just sort of slowly cultivating his cheese ball.
Is Gorgonzola. He's pondering it.
Oh, guys, should we get out of here? Or like, what are we doing? I don't want to stay in one place for too long. So, what do we think? Should we just... I'm just gonna go. Thras, I got to get out of here. I can't stay in one place for too long.
As you turn, you basically almost walk into the notice board, which was not there about 5 seconds ago. The air basically twists, and then it's there. The notice board is there.
I didn't notice that. Did I cast a portal? I do that sometimes.
Nah.
Okay. It wasn't a premature portal. Sometimes that happens. So like...
It attacked you. You want me to kill it?
Let's kill it.
I'll kill it.
Wait, we should just check for any useful notices, and then we'll kill it.
Yeah.
Do I notice any notices?
Looks less molten and now unstable and spiky, as if something's distracting me and pulling attention. Like when you see an ooze get violently out of shape. And I'm ready for anything, but also baffled at the sheer idea that there is life outside of cheese causing unbalance.
Upon the notice board, Iluve, you see there is a note about the 3rd annual excursion to Baldur's Gate. a description of a missing familiar, a young owlbear, and 2 requests for student aid from members of the faculty. The first is for the return of an ornamental dragon egg to Master Ailey, and the second is a request from Griselda Mayhollow, the kitchen mistress, who is having some issues with unusual vermin.
Oh, vermin. Delicious.
Trez.
You smell cheese?
Yeah, that's Dale, right? Dale?
Dale. And hearing that there are vermin in the kitchen, as well as people noticing their presence, the ball of unstable cheese forms 2 blades on his hands, and he's walking towards the kitchen, at least in this space, I believe, dragging them kind of along the floor, kind of Silent Hill vibes, as if he will not have any tolerance for people causing misery in a kitchen. And
I
vermin.
knew you would pick the kitchen adventure.
Dale, come back with my breakfast!
Oh, there's no way he's going back, and Gonzo will just grab that particular dose off the board. He's going to follow Gale, because this watching things be stabbed with cheese is incredibly fun every time.
Love it. All right.
Thrice.
You pick the kitchens. Yeah. Inside, you find Griselda Mayhollow, a matronly... No, I'm not going to say matronly. I use that word far too much, and I also don't particularly like it. She is a stout and indomitable Strig woman. She is somewhere between 30 and 300. It's hard to say. Strig is an owl folk. The owl folk of the Humblewood, actually. And yeah, she's about 4 foot tall, but there is no fucking with her. She rules the kitchen with an iron will and a steel ladle. Yeah, she is currently overseeing a large number of individuals. She has dozens of undercooks, pot boys, magical pots that are stirring themselves. This whole cavern below the main hall is just alive with activity as you head down there, preceded by the cheese wizard. The cheese whiz? Yes, that.
The cheese whiz?
There you go.
They're
I
alive.
found it there. So Dale, you arrive in the kitchens, followed by your compatriots, on the hunt for unusual vermin.
Have any detected the strong odor of me? Is there any kind of indication that my presence has stirred interest?
Looking around,
One of
it
them
is.
has.
This
Thraz.
place is. Yeah, well, Thraz is definitely aware of it. But I don't know if anyone would call him vermin, at least not to his face. Looking around the kitchens, several of the undercooks are aware of your presence, mostly because they cannot now smell what they are cooking, and they're trying to sort of like get. I don't know, it's the cheese lord again. Ugh. Yeah, it smells alright, I guess. It could probably need salt. Yeah. And 1 or 2 of the young lads who are the sort of the runners, the pot boys, that sort of thing, the washer boys down here, you know that this is where they take in waifs, they take in young kids off the streets, orphans and the like, and give them a place to sleep and food. And a few of them get trained to be wizards in here if they have any gift for it. And a few of them think Dale is the bee's cheese. And he so he when he comes in, he acquires a little train of like, oh, it's the cheese guy, is he cool? Look at the blaze on his wrists, aren't they amazing? He's like a
He's not
wild
that cool.
Wolverine.
I'm cooler.
I mean,
What's this?
He's
What's
also
this?
cool. What do you do?
I'm going to copy myself, making 2 other versions of me that are just like slightly cooler than I am.
Make me
say
first roll
cheese.
of the game
Heck yeah.
and evoke check.
So is that just a sorry? This is my first time playing the system. Is it just a D6 roll and then I add my points? Or
If you have a point so you get the number of dice you get to roll is the number of points you have in evoke,
Very
plus
cool.
a relevant spell style if you have one. So you have a relevant spell style because copies and illusions. So that's one dice plus any points you have in evoke.
So I got 3 dice all up because
3 dice.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
And am I getting a target dice face or a total number? Because that's
You need a 6 to succeed.
I got a 10.
No, as in
directly oppose this as a performance
each dice. You certainly can. So each the only 6s on the dice succeed.
Oh, okay, yeah. So no 6s. So none.
So I'm not going to say that you don't manage to create illusions of yourself, but they are not any cooler than you. And the boys are like, oh yeah, look, he's fine and all, but Dale, what do you do to oppose this?
So the 2 strings of cheese from my wrists drop to the floor, and the image in my head, and we hope the dice will match this, is that it turns into the Single Ladies video with 2 piles of cream cheese thrusting joyously in the same motions as Dale as he turns around and presents himself in a kind of Be Our Guest, Beauty and the Beast kitchen scene.
Right.
So, right. How do my dice work for this? Because I'm trying to do something that technically isn't my school. I've got Ponder and Blowvate. So,
so you've got a point. You get a dice from being a cheese wizard, because this is a cheese related spell. But if you do not have any points in evoke, then you would not have any points unless you try to say something to make yourself seem cooler. In which case, I would allow a bloviate.
I'm gonna start off with the Single Ladies cheese being pondered, but this is actually my cheesiest singles yet, and I'm looking forward to presenting this to the world. It's a reach, sir, but I'm going for it.
Go on then.
All right. So would you agree 1 or 2 dice?
1, I think.
Okay. It's a straight 3.
Straight 3. You can, if you want, burn hubris to improve points of the dice. So if you get, say, a 5, you can burn a point of hubris to increase it to a 6. Only 6s succeed.
Do not have enough to do that.
The other rule is you can also resist a roll. Use your resistance, which you can do once a session, to make a fail a success. However, shit gets weird when you do that. I have to narrate how things get
leave
weirder.
It for now.
Okay.
I think that there's probably enough people that will respect the cheese whiz
that
his failure wouldn't be in vain. It would still be better than potentially what he was up against.
Very well.
I really look
Seeing
like that.
this,
I just
seeing it, Thraz.
seeing all of this, and deciding that somehow this means that his very bestest friend has been slighted. Thraz is going to look around for the nearest whole dead chicken.
Okay. there are definitely some.
Yes, he is going to attempt with his skills. He is going to try and convince this chicken with his magic to get up and dance as the frontline dancer to the cheesy backing dancers.
All the single ladies with cheese whiz and a dead chicken.
all the
I love it.
Slices. Yeah. It's right there, guys. Just take it. Yeah.
Crafty. I like it.
Crafty, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's going to look at this chicken, and he's going to try and use his evoke and his necromancy, and he's going to try and convince with his voice, so his words, because he's got 2 in Bloviate. Oh, don't be a chicken. Come on. Up and dance. Look at those legs. Show off those drumsticks. And he is going to attempt this. So I'm not sure what...
You can have either evoke or bloviate. You can't have both.
Okay, I will have bloviate because I've got 2 in that.
Okay.
And 1 for my necromancy.
Yep.
So let's see how I go. I just rolled 3 4s.
If you burn 2 points of hubris, you can get one of them to be a success. Otherwise, the chicken is unconvinced to get up and dance. It's very busy being dead.
You know what? I'll do it.
Excellent.
Incredible.
So, Yeah, do not be frightened of hubris. Hubris is fun, particularly in a one-shot. So yes, you have 2 points of hubris. When you get to 6, you become unstable. I think Thraz is already a good portion of the way there. So, a chicken, plucked or not, your choice, gets up and dances to
Plucked
all
but
the
still
single
has its
slices.
head.
Right. Yep. That's the worst option.
And its neck's broken, so its head's just flopping
Yeah,
from side to
yep.
side.
You
as
didn't
it,
need to specify
decks.
that. It definitely
Like full on
better
metal
for
drummer head.
flapping around. Gonzo, do you want to do anything, or are you just gonna?
I think
You're not obliged to in any way. I want to be clear.
I think Gonzo's role to play here is to pipe up and say, look, if everyone's finished with this paltry display of cheese stick measuring, there appears to be a vermin problem to address.
Look, there's one now, says one of the little boys, and it's the chicken. And he gets thwacked on the back of the head with a ladle, and says, get back to work. And he's like, oh, and goes. And there's a small round of applause from the other urchins at the display of the sort of, 3 or 4 eluves and a dancing chicken and some mysterious cheese slices doing a dance. Before they're all told to go back to work, and then one of the undercooks turns to you and says, and you lot, stop distracting the staff. If you're here to help with the problem, go and talk to the mistress.
Sorry. Oh, great feathered mistress of the kitchen.
She's over there. I'm not her.
Oh. Oh, yeah, you don't have feathers.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
turns around.
he actually
Oh,
does
great
have quite a
feathered
few
mistress of
feathers
the
down his
kitchen.
front. She is a good 50 feet away, and she's like, come, don't shout, stop distracting everybody, come. And she gestures you over with her wing, and the 4 of you go, unless you don't.
Before I go, I'm just going to say to my other copies, we gonna have any problems here?
Oh, no.
How long do
I mean,
these copies
all right.
last? Do
you're
they
actually
Okay.
the coolest. You're the
Infinite-
coolest
All right.
looking one. They just exist
Dismissed.
now. There are thousands of them wandering around.
Do they disband? Do they rebel?
I don't know. What do they do?
They disband.
They disband.
Uh-huh.
They both
Good.
disappear.
Good. No problems. Good. All right. And then just secretly look over Dale. Make sure Dale's not watching me.
My 2 little flubber-like cheese entities that didn't really fully form, they kind of swoop back up to my hands, and they form little rings, bracelets around, like friendship, but with cheese.
I have the man
Look over
with
there.
iron fists.
Over there. And then just discreetly summon a tiny little portal. And then just like stand in front of it so Dale doesn't see it. Yeah. Okay. Good competition. Yeah. Good competition.
Just get a kind of over the shoulder, rather like, from Dale.
Okay, Gonzo and Thraz, you are not measuring your cheese sticks, so you can go and talk to the strig lady, who says, "Oh,
definitely
good,
trying to
finally someone's paying attention to what we need down here. It's really hard to produce food in this environment. I just can't work like this." So, yes, we are having issues. Vermin of all sorts. You wouldn't mind sorting them out there? Do you need any information? You know, kill the bad thing. Kill the.
Well, what are they? What are they? Yeah.
Also, you gotta be careful throwing around bad thing around in this day and age. Like we were for a long time thought we were bad, but you know that's just a PR HR thing. That is my role in making sure that we're not actually the baddies. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I mean, vermin, actual things that will come in and steal our food and eat them without permission, and you know things that spread diseases, that sort of
Students.
I'm sorry.
Students
I'm
as
sorry.
well.
I'll
They
stop.
but
Take that back.
please don't.
That is not a nice thing to say about Thraz.
Students don't spread as much disease, and they are kind of the point of the school. So don't kill those ones. But rats, frogs, snakes, some things that you would expect to find in the city, and a few that we don't normally see. It's actually quite odd. Yes, we've had quite a bunch come through. And what's odd is they're not coming up very much. They're coming down. They tend to come in from outside. The cellars are sealed. But, rats get everywhere. Yeah, some have come up, but some have very much come in from the outdoors. And, well, you know how hard it is to get in here. So how these animals are finding their way in is very odd.
The notice board distinctly said unusual vermin. They all sound very mundane. This doesn't sound like our kind of bag.
An 8-foot snake in the middle of Hazelot.
If they got in here,
Three dozen of them.
doesn't that mean they're students now?
No.
What happens if we find one of them is actually enrolled?
Then don't kill it. That's a student.
What if they've been turned into the vermin? A twist.
Well, look, this is why I asked for some wizards to help. That's the problem. I'm not a specialist in this. This is my speciality. And she gestures to a pot of gruel.
May I?
And...
Oh, great wielder of the ladle, we will help you. We will. Yes.
Good. And she gestures for Thraz to kneel. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And she does the sort of the knighting thing with her ladle. She's like, may you travel safely in my realm. All right, off you go then. Come on.
Oh, not it. Good.
On the way out, can I check what would be the equivalent of a fridge for the biggest wheel of cheese I could find?
Yeah, there isn't really a larder. A lot of actually, you've been sent. The larder would be down the stairs. Looking around, you do see a fair number of large wheels of cheese. Nothing sort of huge, but definitely a group portion. Kilo-size wheels.
The first thing that he would do is bring out his intricate, totally not a cheese knife tool, and cut a V-shaped slice out of it, keeping the remainder of the wheel of cheese in his hands, carrying almost like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And will slowly be casting a spell on it as he goes throughout the next stage.
Very well.
Tell me this cheese is going to become sentient at some
Thras is
point.
going to stick the remaining wedge in his mouth.
And
willingly share.
Yeah, one of the other
sneaky portal.
Are you just littering the space with
I'm
portals?
putting lots of portals everywhere in like,
You never
different
know.
sizes.
Vermin trap portals.
Yeah, exactly. You never know when you'll need that portal.
Not the bad guys. Trying to help.
This is why
There's
I didn't
reason
put this
for
in
my
Humblewood.
madness.
Right, so I'm sure there is. One of the undercooks is just like, get off, get! It's like slaps your hands away as you make off with all the cheese. And it is at this point that a commotion starts from the far side of the cavern in the direction you are heading, but clearly a bunch of the undercooks and several of the pot boys and cleaners and so forth are running about shrieking, and looking over there, you can see rats. Giant rats the size of Labradors. Easily a dozen of them have invaded the kitchen, and you hear a shriek of, "There's more of them! Deal with them!" And the cooks are forming a sort of phalanx with cleavers and pot lids as shields, but they are really just sort of holding a line, protecting the remainder of the food, while they're everyone's sort of looking at you like, so, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be... So, what do you do?
Gonzo rushes in, and I think we'll attempt to summon from another universe or from the remains of another universe some kind of larger than the Labrador-sized rats pack of cats, I guess, to hunt them down.
Yes. Summon. Okay.
Does also, yeah.
Okay. This would be your magic school plus definitely a vocation, I'm afraid.
Okay. Yeah. Nary a 6 to be found.
Oh.
How close did you get?
Got to a 5.
You could spend a point of hubris to bring it to a 6.
I am spending a point of hubris to bring that to a 6. Let's get some cats in on this.
Okay, Laurite, can you roll me a d5 in chat, please? this will be the number of saber-toothed cats you summon. Because you want something bigger than a Labrador, and that would be a place of higher entropy. Lower entropy? 1. You get 1 giant saber-toothed cat, but it's angry, and it's right in the middle of a pack of giant rats. And it starts just going to town. And the rats actually react more like wolves and pack up, but certainly a couple of them get torn to shreds by this thing, as you raise your... What does it look like when you summon this being?
It's reality kind of folds in on itself at a certain little point, and it's like this little thread, and if you look at it for too long, it's properly unsettling, because what's coming through is from an entirely different universe and is not meant to be there, and then it just kind of forms itself into this saber-toothed cat creature. And then there's a distinct little kind of sound as the breaches between the universes reseal.
I love it. Splendid. What else do people do?
I would like to summon a portal. Sorry.
No,
Really?
I just wanted to ask you a question, Josh. Pirate Josh.
Yes.
As far as lines and veils are concerned, are these rats considered animals?
With violence to animals in my games, I tend to just not describe it overly vividly.
Excellent. Cool. Okay.
I
go
consider
ahead,
it a
Sorry
veil,
about that.
not a line. I suppose is the trick. Like,
Okay.
it happens, we don't mention it.
Yep. Okay. Go ahead, Dread.
I summon a portal to the portal that I had previously set up to the cave room where bats are studied, and summon all the school's bats into the room to attack.
So your solution to vermin is more vermin. I love it.
But me and these bats get along like really well. We
Right.
have like, I'm a night owl. They live in caves at night and come out
Sure.
and do all that sort of stuff. So we
Then
get
let
along,
us
we get
say that, yeah, this would probably be your School of Magic plus Bloviate.
along. Ooh, okay.
To convince you open the portal and say, hey, batty boys, it's time.
Hey, baddies. I actually got 2 then. 2 dice, because I put 1 in Bloviate. Okay. What's the number? 6 is only success, right? Everything else is a fail?
Yep.
No! Failure. For
How'd
me.
you do? How'd you do?
I got a 2 and a 4.
You could 2 points of hubris would be a success, or you could resist
How much
that.
hubris do I actually have?
You have as much as you like. Every
yes.
6
Oh, yeah,
every
okay,
6 points you spend.
I'm using it.
Yeah,
I'm using
every,
it because
every
this
6
character's
points
crazy.
you spend, you go through and you get instability. The more instability you have, weirder
I'm
shit
down.
happens to you,
I'm so
but it's
down.
not necessarily bad. 24 points of hubris will probably kill you, but I'd be impressed if you managed that in a single
I'm
session.
so down. Okay, so 2.
Okay.
I'm on 2 then.
Challenge accepted.
You've not met Thraz yet.
Brendan
Thank you for
tried,
this gift.
guys. Brendan tried. Alrighty. 2 points of hubris, and yeah, you summon a cloud of bats. LEB, can you roll me a d20 in chat, please, to determine how many bats obey Iluve's command to come through?
Bats!
And the cooks are like, no, this is the opposite of the solution we were looking for. 12 bats come through this portal, streaking. So, and I'm imagining this is very much you're standing in front of the portal. You sort of open it around yourself, and they streak through behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Your hair, your dreadlocks flutter in the breeze of their passing as they sort of. They're just normal bats, so it takes like 6 of them to take on a single giant rat. But the rats are like, it really disrupts their pack tactics.
I'm
Thraz,
so happy right now.
Thraz, what do you do?
Thraz is looking around. He's standing
God, the
back a
chicken
little
is
ways.
going to
He's
come back. I know it.
No, not yet. He's looking around for sharp bones.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, there would definitely be bones. There would probably be piles in bins.
Yes, he's looking around for cracked, sharp bones, and what he
I
wants
love
to do is use his necromancy and probably his evoke to use them like throwing daggers, pull them out of the bins with his magic, and throw them like darts in a precision strike at some of these rats.
Yes.
So I guess that's 2d6s for
It
that.
is. Amazing. Brad, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Guys, we are 14
I
away
got
from
a-
800 followers.
I got a
Pretty cool.
4, and I will use 2 points of...
Heck yes. That puts you to 4 hubris already. Hell yeah.
Yes. 4. Let me just color that in so I know. And yeah, so he has shards of bone flying at these rats to try and pierce them.
Very well. I love this plan. Microbiologist, could you roll me a let's say a D8 for the number of rats who are seriously inconvenienced by this? Nicodemus had 2 instabilities and is now a light brown elephant shrew with giant round glasses and a sudden hankering for necromancy. Yes, 2. You managed to take out, you skewer several of them, but only 2 are permanently disabled by your attack. But it's still a very effective means of upsetting the swarm. Which brings us to our Lord and Jesus. What does Dale do?
Pulling back his cloak and holding his giant cheese pendant, he speaks some words under his breath, and this wheel of cheese grows and becomes basically animated like a Pac-Man wedge. And this wheel of cheese with the V cut out is gonna go around wacka some big rat.
Okay. What? It's
We
definitely
chose chaos, people.
yeah. I choose violence. It's cheese magic and evoke. I think.
Okay.
If you have any points in evoke.
I do not. I have 2 in ponder. That's why I was pondering my wedge.
I see. Yeah. This is definitely an
So-
active action, I'm afraid. This is definitely
Very well.
just
I'll
cheese
take
magic.
the 1 for being a cheese bender. I did roll a 6 though.
Hey!
Yeah, with my
Yay!
lovely little
Nails
dice.
it.
It's my cat with party hats. They're my favourite dice ever.
Excellent. I'm glad you get to use them.
I know, it's so rare.
I'm going to roll the D6 my own self. I'm going to roll this shiny boy to determine how many. 4. You managed to squish up 4 with your Pac-Man cheese wheel. While the saber-toothed cat chomps down on a couple more, the bats flutter around, dispersing the horde, whilst the horde is pelted from one side. I imagine it's like the bull horns is the saber-toothed cat, and the bats are fluttering around at the shoulders, and then the 2 of you, the Thraz is coming in on one side on the flanks, whilst the Pac-Man wheel is coming in on the other, and you can, if anybody cares to notice, the Strig woman is just standing there with her wings crossed, like, it's always impressive, but it's very destructive. It disturbs the entire business. But in under 30 seconds, you manage to just completely disintegrate this pack of giant rats. And there is a smattering, a golf clap around the kitchen. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's all right. And I was like, all right, well, very good. There you go. You see the problem? It's not just normal rats. I'm pretty sure those aren't students.
No, not students. Looking around, are there any rat corpses that are still intact?
There absolutely are. Let us say there are intact. Yes, they've got a few extra bones in them. But that's only that's only to the good, really. So I would say there are 3 corpses that you could do something with.
Could I possibly reanimate those and use them as stooges?
I will allow you to have 1 rat buddy.
Excellent.
buddy.
Shall I roll for that?
I tell you what, roll for it and see how well you do. Every 6 will get you a rat buddy.
Rat buddy.
Rat buddy.
I rolled a 4 and a 5, so I am going to take that 5, and I am going to once again do the thing.
Hubris. 5 points of hubris. He's playing with fire. Don't trust him. He's a madman.
Incredible.
Excellent. You get a single rat buddy. You can call it whatever you like. I recommend ratness.
Meanwhile, Gonzo will pipe in real quick. Ilove,
Yes.
I appear to have summoned a large carnivorous feline.
It's currently eating one of the rats.
Could you it somewhere that's not here, please? I'd appreciate it.
Oh, hey, kitty, hey.
It lunges at you.
Oh,
Portal.
Good.
What's the default?
And then I hear it land, and I'm like, oh,
location?
portal. And then I diminish the portal, dismiss the portal.
Yeah.
I return my Pac-Man cheese.
Yes. It whack
job.
and it's making that noise. Back over to you. I'm imagining it's a little
Balloon
dirty.
squeak.
Yeah. It's a
Surprise
bit
would
dirty
say
on the
that-
outside. But they're only the rind. It's fine. Cool.
Good. All right.
You
Bonnie,
do that.
Bruce, Benny, Bethany, Bill. I don't know your name. I'm sorry. You can go back to the cave now. I'll talk to you guys
Bradley.
later. Okay.
Bradley.
I know. I'm sorry, Brandley. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help. I might. Thanks for going into bat for me. Huh? Hey. Okay. Goodbye. Bye. Get out.
Squish, and they fly back through the portal they came in from. A group of them carrying one of the corpses with them. This is...
Oh.
Impressive battalion.
Yeah.
Yeah. One stage in my life, I was thinking about becoming a bat person, a vigilante, but it's gone to the days of that. I'm a wizard now. Okay, we did well. Good job. We're good. I did like some of us did better than others. I look over to Dale, my rival.
Who did the most successfully.
Yeah. Well
And
done,
this
Dale.
wheel of cheese is kind of like purring, growling somewhere in between, looking at you with one little hole in the cheese, kind of eyeing you up.
Well done, Dale.
All right.
Sneaky portal.
You successfully another sneaky portal is summoned. In the cheese. You successfully defeated the giant rat menace. But yes, according to the mistress of the caverns, there is more to come. She has recommended you head downstairs into the cellars. That's where most of them tend to go. Though it's not where they come from. So, yeah.
Dale
Before we
will
go.
push in front of Louve and say, this looks like a job for the High Parmesan, and leads the way.
Ooh.
It's not like a menacing, it's like a kind of like a schoolyard.
Yeah, definitely. It's a friendly rivalry. Yeah.
It's very hard to take seriously because his loafers are made of halloumi and squeak as he moves, and vaguely resemble Crocs.
Oh,
It does
so
make
good.
it easy to
Hideous.
follow
Yeah.
when he takes the lead, though, so
Yeah.
it's helpful.
Just before we go, can you just this is the performance review for this part of the quest. Just fill this in, and if you want to give us 5 stars, that's fine. But we'll be back when we do the other one. Okay, come on, Thras.
Yeah.
Braz and his rat buddy, which is, it's seen better days, and it was a rat to begin with. So, actually, tell you what, give you this
But a
for
large
free.
rat.
Thraz, you, I reckon you've probably encountered a few rats in your time, giant and otherwise. This one's a bit weird. As in, quite aside from it being a reanimated corpse, it's almost like someone combined a dog with a rat.
Thraz is going to lick it to determine if it tastes dog-like.
Sure.
We call that licking the dog.
Yeah, hair of the dog.
No one calls it that.
We do now.
Yeah.
Ponder, I think.
Ponder.
Ponder with one.
I've got one in
tongue.
ponder, so I can roll 1 dice for that.
Sure.
Please roll a 6. I rolled a nat 1. I have no idea.
That was a curse blessing.
It doesn't taste like dog.
Does that actually work? Says Gonzo, and then we'll also lick the rat.
Yeah.
Using
to determine?
his point in ponder to determine just what it tastes like in general, because
Sure.
obviously Gonzo hasn't asked or
Specified what he was doing and
Raz
why.
was doing specifically. Also, a 1.
Amazing. Yeah,
I think that
it
we
tastes like
need-
rat.
We need more tongues on this, so I'm gonna use my copy
Bats
magic.
come back.
My copy magic to make multiple versions of me, so we can all lick the dog and see how well we do there. So
Multi-tongue.
multi-tongue.
Okay, you can do ponder
Web.
and copy magic. So yeah.
Okay, so just the one because I don't have ponder at all. Okay, so it's a 5, but I will spend 1 hubris on this, looking at my 3 other copies. All right. Yes, this is weird, but it's not the weirdest thing that we have done. Yes, it is. Like, regret to lick a dog.
Not the weirdest thing I've ever
we're
done.
going to lick. We're gonna lick the dog. I don't want to lick a dog. You have to lick the dog because I am the original. You're not the original. I'm the original, guys.
I'm the original, and
Let's not fight
so's
about
my wife.
Does the other one point out that it's actually a
this.
rat?
One. I haven't seen that one before. I like the pirate getup though. Looking sharp. Okay, tongues out. Let's go. 5, but 1 hubris.
Triangulating the taste.
You yeah. It tastes off. This is, and I don't know how you know this, but this tastes like if someone combined a rat with a dog. Like, straight up just put them in a blender, mushed it all up together, then extruded something that was the combination of the two into an animal form.
I'm getting Chihuahua. Not quite though. It's
Great Dane.
close. Yeah, it tastes like rat though, right? What do you think, Pirate Josh? Sorry,
You know,
pirate me
like,
is what I meant.
he goes, well, that reminds us of something we actually tried on the ship in my multiverse. Yeah, don't breed them. Don't breed rats and dogs, because you get something like that, actually. And, look, the point was they breed really fast, which means they're a good, like, self-sustaining food supply on board, but, has some very nasty side effects on your diet and, your gut, I'll be honest. So don't eat it.
All right.
And a couple of the cooks, like, were picking up the bodies and then go, all right then. And they still take the bodies away, but clearly for different reasons.
Save
All right,
those
taste
for later.
buds.
I'll eat them. I'll eat
Get
them.
out of here.
I'm an
Avast,
owl.
matey! And he backs out of existence. Boss
They all
Muppet,
disappear.
thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. I hope you're enjoying the show. It is a weird fucking system, this one.
Brace it.
I'm sorry.
Brace the weird.
Not
Yeah.
helped by the large amount of cheese.
I love that it's
looking-
not,
I
I'm not
can't
even
stand
sure
onion
it's the
colouring.
weirdest thing.
We've got time.
Yeah. So it felt like, it honestly did feel like when you were when you were all going around the circle, you were like trying to compete to be the fucking weirdest, and I'm no anyone won.
Is this what happened when dungeon masters who hate people summoning at their table go, "It's my turn"?
Yeah, but you're playing with the dungeon master who's
Yes.
totally fucking fine with it.
Yeah.
Cool. So you go down the stairs unless you want to lick any more reanimated corpses.
I think about it.
I will ride my cheese like a floating disc down the stairs.
Tensor's floating cheese. Yes.
Thank you, Paul.
That's very cool. It's actually very cinch. It's very chaos sorcerer. So
yeah.
you slowly descend the stairs aboard a broad disc, Magneto style, like standing with your arms like on this little narrow, because it's not huge. It's about the size of an A4 piece of paper. But just riding down. And the rest follow Thraz with a reanimated rat dog. Down here you find a collection. It's a cellar. It's a place. It's the larder. It's where they keep the spares, the extra food and such. Anything else? Like if you're wanting to actually have a look around, it would be ponder. I think ponder, unless you want to make an argument for something else.
I will spend time pondering, holding my medallion, and almost like detecting dairy, to see if there's anything I can use to add to my cheese mass to increase my power. feel confident.
Gonzo will do a more generic ponder. Cheese-based ponder.
Because mine
Like
was very oddly
A
specific.
cheddar. Very well. Yes, I'll have 2 different ponders, please. Roll the appropriate number.
I've got a 6.
Hey, yeah, there
If
is
I'm
actually.
rolling 3 dice.
I believe so. If
Because
you have
I've
2
got-
in ponder and your cheese magic.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Very well. You do find a very big wheel of cheese down here. It is in a cupboard, and you are drawn to it possibly by your magical awareness, possibly by the overwhelming scent. And yeah, there is a decent-sized wheel of cheese. You open it, and you find it is the same cheese that you had earlier, that you had found, that was served with breakfast, that you were playing with before. However, basically, they've been carving chunks off it for a while now. Yeah, it's probably the mass of a human male. An adult human.
Dale's head will tilt back, and a yellowish glow from the eyes and mouth, almost like the Speak with Dead spell. And you'll notice the big wheel and my previous wheel come together to form a penny farthing. Because I can. He just has a bit of swag. People keep mocking cheese magic. He gonna show you how it's done.
Yep. The only issue is that
Sneaky
both the wheels are going around at the same time, and they both of them have a slice carved out, so it's a little bumpy, but it's excellent.
It's technically impressive, but aesthetically, it just looks weird.
Very uncomfortable, but it's excellent. How did you do, Promethean, for your ponder?
5, and I'll throw a point of hubris in
Hells yeah.
to ponder our way through this.
Having a look around, you do determine that there has been... So it's a basement. There isn't much beyond it. However, in your knowledge and studies of the school, there should be more below, even if you can't access it from this chamber. However, you know, your knowledge of the network of tunnels beneath the school wouldn't surprise you if they were going further than beyond here, that they had tunneled through in a particular corner, because there is more tunnels down in that direction. So checking out that corner, you do find that a small tunnel has been dug, nowhere near large enough to ride a penny farthing bicycle through, or even for a goblin to walk through easily. The Gonzo is probably the only one who could even fit, although, you know, Thraz's little buddy is might be able to accommodate as well. So you'd either have to make the space bigger or find another way through.
I appear to have found some kind of vermin hole. I don't think we're all going to fit in here.
Meh.
We are
I
in a
have a
magic
terrible
school.
idea.
Oh, let's go with that.
It's terrible, but I really want to try it. And he starts going through this pamphlet in his pocket. And do you remember those giant diggers? And I don't mean like the ones you find at like dig sites. I mean like the earth haulers. That's a big wheel at the front on a crane arm. So he's going to bend the cheese to be a little serrated so it can dig. And we're going to grind our way through with cheese.
Okay.
Would we be grinding, or would we be like cheese?
Early in the
grating?
morning and I'm not slept.
So, you know, this is evoking cheese.
I will having one
I will
dice then.
help that though. 100%. I will
Love it.
provide assistance.
In what way are you helping? So you, Dale gets another dice from Gonzo's
Good, 'cause I
assistance.
rolled a 1.
And what way are you helping? How are you assisting with this?
I think Gonzo will draw in from a universe that is primarily mud, and just impart some of that into the earth around this area. So even if, as Gonzo expects, this cheese drill, cheese
Earth shifter.
auger, I
Yes,
guess,
auger,
fails miserably, that the area that it goes into will just kind of open up in a sloppy, muddy mess. But you know, Dale might feel proud.
How did you do with your second dice, Mike?
Well, I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oof.
So now, what is the wizards or the whiz instance? That's like an auto success.
Resistance is an automatic success. Yes.
because he doesn't want to look bad and give cheese bending a bad name.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna cash that in.
this wizard's
All right.
watching right now.
Okay.
Almost said the name.
So, you do that. You resist this. You can feel it's not working. Gonzo even tries to help by making some of the area you're trying to carve through mud rather than stone. However, cheese just isn't sharp enough. Or this cheese just isn't sharp enough.
Yeah, I was
thank you. So, yeah, you find the cheese. You channel as much of your deity into it, your Lord and Savior into it, and the cheese begins to glow. What color would you say our Lord and Jesus is? Like, what would their magic color be?
So I have to draw attention to a microbiologist comment in the chat. It's just
Resistance is futile. Yeah.
Yeah.
In this instance, it's
would
not.
be a very white, holy glow, but obviously with a little yellow just in there.
Around a rhyme. Yeah. Excellent. So, yeah, your great wheel of cheese digger begins to glow with this holy radiance as it becomes significantly holier than Swiss even, and
The holiest cheese.
the holiest of cheeses. And it's just, there's so much you can do with it. It's genius. And eyes
Secret portal.
blink within the wheel, and it has become aware. This
Where cheese?
where cheese, their cheese, his cheese.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, and it has started to take great bites. It's gone more back to the Pac-Man style cheese of before, but it is now very much a sentient wheel of cheese about the size of a human man.
He is whizzing.
He has risen. Where is it? And he is just chomping. This being is just chomping away, auguring its way through this wall for you. It's working. It's not working the way you intended, but it is working. You cast another secret portal, Eluve.
Oh, yes, I did. Sneakily. And then I'll lean over to Thraz and say, yeah. So, Dale is like summoning sentient cheeses, and there's a cheese type known as Gorgonzola. I think Gonzo is actually a sentient cheese that we just never knew about. Gorgonzola, Gonzo.
Gonzo.
Oh, let me check.
Okay,
And he's going to wander over and stick his
He's
tongue
gonna
on the
lick.
back of Gonzo's
Yep.
neck.
I've told you
Blab.
not to do that.
I am so happy about that. That is the right response.
Okay. Whatever it was I told you to do for the licking the rat dog, do that again.
Don't do that. Oh, that happened.
Let me check.
Sorry, Gonzo.
Is
Ponder?
that is Ponder?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's not
I
dead
have
though,
one
so you
dice.
don't. Yeah.
No. That is a 4.
Tastes like a goblin, man.
Oh no, I've frozen.
Hmm.
That sucks.
Oh no.
I can still hear you though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just gonna tastes like goblin.
Yeah.
Eh.
And Gonzo stands a lot straighter, like no. The spine shivers. Yeah. The cheese wheel makes its way through the wall. You find yourselves in a very much disused passageway beneath the school. It does look familiar to Gonzo. Like he's like, oh yeah, I know where I am. Yeah, like when you find yourself on a bit of road that's near something that you're familiar with, and you're like, and you piece it together in your head. It's that sort of like, I know where I am. Wow. This part of the school has not been used in a good long while.
Incredible.
Oh, Josh
This
is
should be.
frozen.
Whoa, gone.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Yikes! He'll be back.
They'll be back.
This area is pretty abandoned, but there's nothing down here. If there's anything down here, one of the students would have set up some kind of laboratory, created ritual arenas, or something of that nature.
Oh, idea! I have big idea. Yeah.
Thraz.
What if we ask rats? Minion here. Where friends are.
It's a very good idea. Does the
Minion!
dead rat minion speak?
No. You can. I mean, it's probably Thraz has got to ask the question. Bloviate the rat. That's a phrase I did not expect to say today.
I think it's probably so it's just minion. Where did you come from? You lead way. Yeah.
Lead
the way.
Roll me Bloviate with Necromancy.
That is 3 dice. I got a 6. I got 2 6s.
Whoa.
Nice.
And a 1.
Okay. You okay. The rat goes, I speak now?
You speak.
We friend?
Big friend.
I name?
Minion.
Minion. I'm Minion.
Minion. You minion.
What you name?
Thraz.
What Thraz want know? Minion tell.
Where you and friends come from.
Street.
You lead way? From here?
Back up top.
Yeah.
We go. The minion turns around and leads you back up towards the kitchen.
Oh, no.
We not go?
No. No, we not go. Me thought through here? You come?
That where we go.
Right, we go there.
Can Godzo understand either side of this conversation?
Yes.
How are we perceiving this?
Yes, you can.
Would it be Thraz's side only, or
No. I think you can understand both.
Brilliant. The angry cook did mention that these have been coming from up as opposed to down. Maybe we follow the peculiarly overly helpful zombie rat.
Yeah.
We smell down here. We smell interesting thing. We go?
Interesting thing down here. We smell. They smell. We go.
We go?
Also...
Hey guys, Josh the Pirate here. I just wanted to take a quick moment and actually talk about the charity that we're actually raising money for today, because we're having a great time. We're having loads of fun. Amazing creatives have pledged their time. Incredible sponsors have pledged their support, but we actually haven't talked a lot about who Childhood Cancer Support actually is, what they do. So I thought I'd just give you a quick lowdown on that. Childhood Cancer Support focuses on a different area of the cancer process than a lot of other charities. In Australia, a lot of people live rural. There is something like 20% of the population live outside of cities. And in a country where 95% of the surface area is rural, that could mean quite a long trek to get to any hospital facilities or anything like that. So childhood cancer support is actually all about that element of it, about supporting people through one of the hardest things that a parent or a family can ever go through with a child. Childhood cancer support, the three primary things they do: free family unit accommodation for families that travel in to get treatment, free hospital and airport transfers, so they just take the hassle out of it, and on-site mental health support, counseling, and social support services, all of which hugely important. I imagine when your kid is that sick, you don't have time for your social life, you don't have time for your own mental health. It's all about the kid. So having this charity that also supports that is incredibly important, and I think really valuable. That's what they're for. Thanks very much. Vast ahoy, mateys, we be back. Thank you for bearing with us there. That was a little bit longer than we would normally like to break, but we had the tech goblins, but they've been slain with the mighty swords. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us and staying around. In fact, we have more viewers now than we did when we left, so you guys are bloody champions. Vitulari Vidican, I apologize. That one is not one that works for my brain. Thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. We also are having a charity day today. Charity 24-hour, in fact it's 28-hour by the end of it, marathon, playing all of the wonderful games. Today we are playing some Major Magicka with these splendid people, the wonderful Mike Moans, the splendid Promethean, the gorgeous DreadedGM, and the adorable Sir Terris, all joining us for some more charity games. This one has proven to be remarkably, and I knew it was going to be fucking weird. I was apparently, like, not prepared. I was prepared. I just don't know. Just Vit, I like that. Vit, thank you very much for the follow. Guys, donation link is up in chat. Every $5 we do puts you into the draw to win some, part of $900 worth of prizes. It's a lot. All for Childhood Cancer Support, which is a charity that supports people whose children are going through the cancer process, which sucks. So that's what they do. They provide hospital transport, accommodation for people coming in from out of the city, and mental health service support. All of that, very important stuff, and we appreciate them, they appreciate us, and we appreciate you. So let's get back into it. The gang is trying to deal with a rodent problem a vermin problem in the basement of the Great College of the Dying Light, a wizard school in Hazeloft, in my homebrew setting of Telos. And it's one I don't actually stream in a lot, actually, so this is kind of fun and new. So far, they have defeated a gang of wolf rats by summoning other animals to fight them, and a giant wheel of cheese. And the cheese wizard and friends have now descended into the basement, found a tunnel through into a forgotten part of the lower parts of the wizard's college, and Gonzo has just summoned from another dimension a large amount of acid to precede them down the corridors, where they are following a reincarnated or reanimated wolf rat, friend of Thraz, back to where this wolf rat was going. But they are going to be preceded by some acid to clear the way for them. Yes, $305.80 till we hit the goal number 2, I believe. Hello, yes, it is indeed, LEB. Guys, we're doing amazingly. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of you. Let's keep at it. Guys,
The kids.
we have you have just summoned some acid to precede you down the corridor. It has also swept away a lot of the what's the word I'm looking for? Dust in this corridor. It was quite thickly floored of dust, but the acid has just definitely wiped that away. It's also there you can hear the chittering and sort of various other animal noises of animals running away from this small wave of acid that Gonzo summoned. You make your way into this and then follow the acid down. newly summoned or the newly revived rat wolf is talking with Thraz and saying, "Friend down here. We go see friend? We not know what friend, but friend calls."
Maybe we don't poison everything on the way down. Rat friend with thing down here. Calls. Yeah.
Good rat friend.
Acid, not poison. Two
Acid.
I
very
reward the
different
rat friend
substances.
with a tiny baby bell.
Rat friend is extremely happy. Minion consumes the baby bell. Yeah. And then eagerly, sort of in the manner of a dog, licks Dale's hands and says, "Friend smell like cheese. Cheese, very nice. Cheese, good friend." The cheese that you summoned, Dale, is also there. The giant wheel of sentient cheese is sort of rolling along beside you, one eye sticking out of one of the many, many holes in it, sort of watching you. Yeah, it hasn't said anything yet, but it is definitely still faintly glowing, that very pure white tinged with yellow and stripes of green light. But it's just following you around, this giant wheel of cheese, roughly the size of a man. So yes, you head on down. The acid, it has cleared about 100 feet, about 100 meters of passageways, and you follow it. Coming up ahead, you notice that the acid has actually had a non-optimal effect, as part of the corridor is very much damaged, and doesn't look particularly safe to traverse. It's still clear, but you can see that the roofs and sides of the walls are badly damaged, and the acid has only made that worse. Traveling in there, you might be able to get away with it, but it's not necessarily particularly safe.
If only one of us was adept at some kind of magic that could transport us from point A to point B.
That would be very useful. If we
would.
had someone that was incredibly good at rapid transportation in a short amount of time, almost like stepping through a door.
You notice that Dale's embarrassed this is a power he doesn't have.
Noticing that.
Gonzo was talking about
Me! It's me!
like
I can do it! What?
bridge. No? Okay. Oh,
Cheese bridge.
Right. Cheese bridge. Do the cheese bridge then.
In a stance, almost like the crane kick, I summon strings of cheese and craft them to the will of the party. Whether we're holding up walls or whether we're helping with
it's more the worry that the ceiling and walls will collapse in on you than the floor will fall away underneath you. You're underground, so the floor is probably not going to give way.
I'll make a chute that we can slide down, safely entombed in this giant canoe. Like
Different type of portal.
cheese.
A cheese chew.
It's a portal bellow. No, that's a mushroom.
That's a mushroom.
look, they're basically the
It's a
same.
fun
Really
Yeah.
tried to spore it in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna try my portal.
Okay. Are you going to make portal magic to just go from one side of this obstacle to the other?
Yes.
Okay, I like that. So I think the two of you are going to do this simultaneously. And one of you creates portals on one side while the other is going to make a cheese chute. So let's have to evoke with your particular schools of magic rolls. I love that you both are like competing to be the best wizard, and neither of you are particularly good at being a wizard. How'd you do, Dread? To read your face, I'm suspecting that you did okay.
I did pretty well. I rolled 2 6s and a 4. So
I see them rising in succession, and I get competitive and throw 2 hubris to make -6.
I also spend 2 hubris to make mine 666, just because I want 3 of them.
Very well. You
Sad
create.
cheese noises intensify.
Yeah.
So what happens is
Portals are my thing.
you create 3 portals in front of in front of Thraz, Gonzo, and Eluve. In front of Dale, Thraz, and Gonzo, while Dale creates the cheese shoot in front of Eluve.
I look at you, Dale, and I look to the rest of them, expectantly towards my beautiful and amazing and immaculate portals.
I point you
Portals.
towards my long, soggy, cheese stringy shoot, and it's just kind of like knowing it's kind of shit, but like
It's like one of those playground slides, like the fully enclosed, but it's made exclusively of string cheese.
yeah, it does smell like lots of children have been
Very
down
much, yeah. It's also like cheese is quite like it's not a very slippery surface.
It's very viscous, isn't it?
Is it
Like,
runny? I like it runny.
Ah.
I imagine
Oily
it being
too.
like a dice tower where
Oh.
you kind of bounce around and
Yeah.
slowly
Yeah.
make your way to
Yeah.
the bottom.
Given that this is a flat surface as well, it's like it's a corridor. It's not a. It's not.
You're just gonna have to like scoot yourself.
It's not a
down.
staircase. Yeah, you
it's
have to
fine.
crawl
It kind of
through it.
ripples and moves you. It's
Oh.
like
Cheese tubes is probably
peristalsis.
a large reason that that Gonzo's robes are mostly yellow. So I think Gonzo's just gonna like take a little taste of the cheese tube, but then absolutely take the portal.
Goes through the portal. What color are the portals? I'm imagining like portals, as in the game portal, so blue
I'm
and
glad
orange.
you
But
asked that. I'm glad you asked that. It's kind of like a mellow yellow. It's like
Love it.
it's a nice mellow yellow. It's a milky yellow glow.
Is
It's
it milky? Okay.
yeah. It's I've got
Yeah,
my
yeah,
reasons.
isn't it?
Got my
Yeah,
reasons.
yeah.
I've been
Always
I've
trying
been
to be like
casting
me.
sneaky portals are going everywhere. I got my reasons. We'll find out hopefully by the end.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, Gonzo goes through a portal. Minion is definitely going down the cheese ladder. Minion probably doesn't do any favors for the cheese. Like every now and again, as you see it going through, and the thing begins to undulate like a worm, push it like it moves it through in the same way that a snake would move along the ground. It's sort of, yeah, you are ushered through the cheese tube by the cheese itself.
Like
and
the
wi-
cheese tube is laying us like an egg.
Yes, that's
I
a.
hate that. I love that visual.
It's in Aliens, when there's the bit that the queen is laying the eggs. It's that sort of
Yes, the
almost-
ovipositor. Yes.
Mhm. That.
Yep.
That, but it's a cheese. Yeah. I'd imagine it initially as having quite a lot of space around you. Now I don't. Now when you get in, it is, and you are extruded by this cheese, strudled, if you will.
Thraz,
By
Thraz would like to go through that tongue first.
Yep. Thraz does that. Thraz and Minion enjoy the cheese tunnel. Eluve
Thraz.
is betrayed.
I look over.
I
right,
didn't
as-
want
as-
him to feel bad about his tunnel.
It makes me
Yes.
feel bad all the time, Stress.
At
You
the end
are
of the tunnel,
superior in every way, friend. In
Dale's just
every
dusting
way.
off the guests who've been down the cheese tunnel, like this way, Mom, this way, sir, this way. Fully giving them like the 5-star experience, even though they're fucking speckles of cheese, and they're just generally absolutely soaked. And at the very end, the little tail of it just poops out one of my halloumi crocs, and I act like it's nothing at all. Like this is just a little squeak, a little deposit, and I'm standing there holding it like a trophy. Like this is the best idea I've ever had, knowing full well it's quite bad.
I just have this image in my head as we're out of the tunnel, the cheese tunnel, of Minion and Thraz grooming each other's fur.
Yeah,
Aw.
yeah.
Aw, that's
Picking bits of the,
Just
with their little
Yeah, click,
mouse
click.
hands.
delicious. Good breakfast.
Yeah. Second breakfast. And then
I'm talking to you
Eluve,
guys.
you step through one of your portals, I imagine. Oh, hurtful. The Jesus is also going to appear through the cheese tunnel as well. And it's actually clean now. It has been slowly picking up dirt from the floor and bits of acid, actually. But yeah, the acid has sort of stopped around about here. This is where it sort of hit and did the damage. The cheese tube has cleaned the Wheel of Jesus, and it is now, it's there, and it emerges and blinks. And Dale, it definitely feels like it approves. It extrudes a tendril of cheese and pats you on the shoulder, and then it indicates for Minion to lead on.
Hey, Dale, I was worried about the acid a little bit, but look, he's immaculate.
Just, he turns, and as the light touches him, flakes of parmesan fly like glitter, almost like a magical girl pose. Just living his best life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, he does take a moment and just does a line of parmesan off the side of his head.
That explains quite a lot. Right.
It's Sailor Brie.
Sailor Brie.
Sailor Brie.
Sailor Brie.
Oh dear.
You come a little while later to a door. It is an old pulsing green. That's actually a valid point. Yes. Beyond this point, you notice firstly among the brickwork, like in the grout, lines of pulsing green magic flow in rivulets along the walls and floors, and in many places, moss and other plant life has taken hold. So getting you can see very excellent. Oh my god, I'm so happy. So happy.
Actually, I'm gonna summon my taste buds as well.
Uh-huh. Then you can I would like you to make this is as close as the game will allow me to a con save. Can you make me shift, please?
I don't have shift.
So roll 2d6 and pick the lower.
Oh boy! All right, taste buds. We're gonna get in on this. We need to figure out what this moss is.
If you're using your taste buds, then you get advantage. You would get to use your copy ability.
Yeah, I want to use my copy magic. Yeah.
Yeah. So just roll one, and you don't have to half it. Yep.
Okay. I'm glad you're back, pirate me.
Ahoy, ahoy.
See you.
What are we licking today? Is this all you're going to hire me for from now on?
Yes. That's why I call you guys my taste buds.
I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
I like to think I'm clever. It's a 4, but I'll use more of that hubris, going up to 7.
Oh, you are unstable. Right. Yeah. Scrolls down to the instability list. Roll me a d6, my friend. Tell me what you get.
Roll a d6. Roll a d6. 2.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, we see.
Mike, you're gonna love this.
God,
Iluve, as you lick this wall, you notice it is covered in it's just moss and lichen and mushrooms. And
oh no.
As you lick this is what it actually says. As you lick this, your nose hits one of these mushrooms, and a cloud of spores puffs off it, and you sort of reflexively just inhale in shock, and the straight up right into the brainstem. This cloud of mushrooms go. Now, you got a 6, so you are not in any way incapacitated by this. But within 30 seconds, from within his dreadlocks and under his robe, mushrooms begin to sprout on Iluve.
I'm taste buds, gang.
And you look over at your pirate buddy and your pirate taste bud, and he is covered in little mushrooms, like little button mushrooms are popping up all across his chest in a strange pattern.
All right, your taste buds. This doesn't look good for us. But a hell of a way to go out, right?
No.
Go out. What are you talking about? This just makes you more of a fun guy.
I
I
appreciate
will
that.
eat you.
I
We eat
appreciate
friend,
that.
says Minion.
No. What's threat?
Not threat. We eat threat. Where threat? I eat threat.
Soon.
If you guys eat me, then there's a chance that this will happen to you. So I'm going to advise against it.
Oh,
But
no. I was not threatening to eat you.
I like the fun guy thing. I'll go out being a fun guy. Maybe I'll strike a pose.
Iluve, in your mind, you can hear, I can't believe this guy is trying to convince his friends not to eat him. Like, is that an option? Was that going to happen? It is the pirate version of yourself. It's their thoughts.
Oh.
Good boy.
And then he turns and looks at you like, oh.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, that's
well, then
weird.
let's try this
No,
with.
are we, okay.
Let's
He's
try this with
hearing your
vintage me.
thoughts.
Vintage me.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Oh.
And Vintage You has a mushroom for an eye patch. For a monocle, rather. Is yes. Oh,
So
I
you
can hear
can-
you too. But his voice is very
You're-
sluggish in his head. It's very sort of.
You're a little
yeah.
bit wild, vintage me. Okay. All right. Okay. So, do you guys think that if we fed our shrooms to the gang, that we would all get this?
And almost as a chorus in your mind, you hear both of your taste buds go, yes, we should feed the mushrooms to our friends.
We should share. Gang.
Yes, we should share. And both of them say, yes, we should share. Yes, of course, we should share.
Partake of me. Take a bite. Take a taste. You know. I think the phrase is "eat me." Let's.
Okay.
Here you go. Just we're gonna. It gives us the ability to hear each other's thoughts, and you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can be one forever.
Yeah. One forever.
Okay.
Forever. Amazing.
Immediately, I'm going to commune with Lord
Jesus.
and Savior Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah, Thraz is going to eat one of the mushrooms.
Oh,
Make me a
Fraz.
shift check, Thraz.
He has no shift either.
Then that's with
Roll
disadvantage,
2
I'm afraid.
and take the lowest.
I'll-
I've just lost one. Oh well, the other one was a 3, so it doesn't matter. Uh-oh. I'm gonna
Cool.
die, aren't I?
No.
No.
You're going to become unstable.
We'll all be together forever.
Thraz,
In the fields.
you pop a mushroom in your mouth and just sort of gaily start to chew, yum yum yum,
Ah,
and
I
immediately,
was just
yeah,
thinking about the same song, Draz. So
yeah, you start hearing that song in your head, the one that you guys have memorized backwards and forwards, and you're both hearing it at the same time. It's just you're just grooving. It's Thraz and 3 different Iluves just.
Thraz is going to stop mid-chew as he realizes the mistake he has made.
Because
Not a
now
mistake.
He has
Iluve
his-
can hear
he has-
his thoughts.
He has one secret that he has been keeping from Iluve.
Oh, not anymore.
Meanwhile, the cheese was the great circle of cheese. Russell on the loose. Hey, buddy, how are you? Yeah, they take a little bit longer than that to kick in. I've heard. Hey, Russell, how are you, Maddie?
Ahoy, hoy.
Thanks for joining us. Yes, the giant wheel of cheese that is glowing slightly. Its Pac-Man mouth opens and turns to you, and it says, "My son, it would be wise not to partake of your friend."
In that case, Jesus will melt and we will purge any mushrooms that come towards us as I look like a giant cream cheese golem of molten cheese. And this is my fondue form. but it's not my fondue form.
Okay.
We will purge any mushrooms that come through my fondue. Consider it a fondue-shing.
Yeah.
We can go further.
I don't
There's
need
more.
To... I know there's more.
There's more.
It hurts, Chad. It hurts.
I outreach my hand to Gonzo, offering them protection. Become one with us.
From the spores.
Gonzo.
And it's going to be very West Side Story, cheese versus shrooms, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fortunately, Gonzo can take the middle ground. Gonzo just kind of says, "Ew, the fondue, no, thank you," but refuses to eat the mushroom that they've been handed, and kind of reaches into their robe. And so I mentioned earlier, Gonzo has a second really cool hat, which he dons, but it's also familiar. It is sentient. He pulled it from another universe, and it's essentially the outside musculature and skin of some kind of unicorn-like creature. It speaks while it's on his head, but he will feed his familiar this mushroom instead.
You put it on and it goes, "Please help! Please! This every moment I exist on this man is agony."
Quiet!
Yes.
Eat the mushroom!
Welcome to our fields. We are all one in the song.
The mushroom hat visibly... Sorry, the mushroom unicorn hat visibly relaxes. There's a sentence I never get to say. And it chills out immediately and goes, "Yeah, that's better." You will get a terrifying mental image in your head of what Gonzo did to make this hat. Which I'm not going to describe. Just let your imaginations run wild. And meanwhile... Dale, make me an evoke with your cheese magic. Unless you could argue for something else.
As I am wearing my entire cheese, at this point, could I ponder it?
I would say, yeah. All right, go on then.
2 6s.
Ooh!
Wow.
Nice.
You are probably immune to the fungal spores of these mushrooms. Amusingly, you are not the Mushroom King. You're the Cheese Lord.
Hello.
This is different foodstuffs every time. Yes, our Lord and Jesus protects you and casts its ever-glowing warmth around you as you enter your fondue form.
I will form a almost like astronaut helmet around the head.
Yeah.
So you can still just see through, but it's airtight.
Okay. And Gonzo, yeah, your unicorn hat is now pretty chill and relaxed about these mushrooms and is communing with Thraz and Iluves. As is, let's be honest, minion.
Pirate me. Vintage me. Through the portals. I have set up a system of other portals all throughout the school. Go find others to join us and to share the song, to share the load. We will become one, sharing oneness and awareness and yes. Go.
The mushrooms come into this. Yep, alright. They do. They say, yes, we shall do this. A wise plan.
Wait, there can be more of us.
This directly opposes the will of Jesus. So I'm now going to rid myself of the suit and apply it around Ilove, trying to contain this patient zero who now has wills to rise up again. He's the anti-Jesus at this point. Yeah. And I am not ready for this.
You've noticed!
Every ounce of cheese bending is to contain... You will not rise against the holy Jesus.
I am
Go back
the
from whence
Swiss!
you came, spore man.
I am the hole in the slice! The whole time! I have been building my holy network around your cheesiness!
You will drown in my fats and embrace the flavors that become you in the 9 hells.
The best part of the Swiss cheese is the holes! fungus, and then I'm going to combat against this. Are we okay with
wizard duel right now?
This is a wizard
I
duel.
can eat my way through.
That's what it is. This is where I
Right,
point out that
spanning it
yeast is a fungus. Yes. Dak, I apologize then. Thank you very much for pointing that out. It was an anonymous gifter, and yes, they were incredibly generous. So thank you for not taking credit, you bloody champion. Right. Josh will quickly look up the rules for wizard duels, because I did not anticipate this going this way, but it's where it's gone. So, in a wizard duel, I'm reasonably confident it's just rolling against each other. It is 1-on-1, so this will be Iluve versus Dale. So, a wizard duel usually takes the form of a series of 3 spell volleys. During each spell volley, the dueling wizards will describe the spell they cast and make simultaneous evoke rolls. Help from entities is allowed, but frowned upon. Help from fellow wizards is extremely objectionable and perilous. It may well incur the wrath of other entities. Entities being very powerful wizards, other spectral entities, things like that. For duels with non-player rival or enemy wizard, the GM can establish the wizard's power by deciding how many dice they get for evoke. Between each spell volley, the GM should check in with the wizards that aren't engaged in the duel. Are they cheering their friends? Spell volleys. On a tie, just the tying dice are re-rolled. Only the re-roll results are considered when determining potential. So, the wizard who rolled higher will gain points of potential equal to the difference between their highest dice and their opponent's. If a wizard may take hubris to improve their result, but it will cost double in the heat of battle. Bumping a 5 to a 6 will take 2 hubris, for example. If both wizards in the duel tick hubris to make the result a 6, neither gains potential and the duel moves on to the next spell volley. I will, however, put a limit on the number of hubris you are allowed to claim in this fight. You are both allowed to go up to a single level of instability. As in, so Dread has, I think, 5 points left to go for until his next level of instability. Yeah. I don't know however many
7.
I've
Mike is.
got 5.
Oof. So, all right, I will allow you 2 hubris in this one because that feels a little unfair. Because the whole reason is because he's just gone unstable.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm going to walk that rule back. I will allow you both to go up to a second level of instability.
Right.
I think that seems more fair because of this situation. And a wizard may declare before and instead of rolling that they intend to spend a use of resistance to get a 4. This can be modified with hubris afterwards. So, let us do our first spell volley. Dale is trying to encase Iluve in his wall of fondue cheese. What is Iluve trying to do in response?
Spoil, baby. I'm trying to spread. I'm trying to be everywhere, all at once, all through the portal network of spore portals, portal spores. So I guess like
Sportals. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's frowned upon, but I don't think I'm of a stable mind. So I'm going to pull on everyone else's. I'm not going to get them to interact too much, but I'm just going to try and get any sort of like networked advantage.
You have a networked advantage through Thraz. It is frowned upon, but I would say you definitely have a point. You have an extra dice from Thraz.
Thraz.
So it is evoke plus your spell style plus 1 from Thraz. Dale, you are receiving help from your Lord and Savior, Jesus. So that is an entity who is giving you an additional dice as well. So evoke plus your cheese magic plus 1 from your entity. Roll them bones. Let's see who does the best.
I'm using my resistance as well. I'm going all out here.
So you are going to deliberately just take a 4 as your highest roll? That's what resistance will do.
Is that what it is? Did you get to... Okay, so no, I'll just roll then. Yeah. Because like, it's way better to roll.
If you've got 4 dice, you would be struggling to do better than lower than a 4. Yeah. It's the highest dice.
As he goes to cast, he goes, Hallumus! And gets a mighty 3.
A 3.
What's a good mushroom name? Is portobello? What's the cheesiest mushroom?
Ooh. In Japan, I once had cheese and mushroom fried on a stick, and it was excellent.
Ooh, that sounds neat. Will I get some dice?
Lovely. How'd you do, Dread?
Highest was a 6, but it's like a 1, 2, 4, 6.
It's the highest number we're looking for, so you get 3 points of potential by beating Dale by 6, as you manage to get the first of your spores out through these portals. Thraz and Gonzo, what are you doing while this is occurring?
I think.
Has Thraz also grown mushrooms?
Yes, Thraz is starting to grow mushrooms as well.
Thraz is quietly telling Minion to take one of the mushrooms and throw it in the soup pot up in the kitchens.
Yes.
This is gonna be one either way. Oh god. Oh no.
Well,
This turned into like Last of Us, and I'm okay with that. That's where we're going. It's
I love that you haven't
what you're
actually.
saying.
You're not going to solve the problem at this rate. You are the problem. Yeah.
In the
It went down to.
we assumed we were the problem.
Yeah.
So assuming Minion slinks off into the
Yeah, you
Upstairs
witness
region to do
Minion head back the way he came. There is a non-zero chance that the cooks will prevent Minion from doing what he seeks to do, but Minion will certainly try to.
Gonzo has seen just how lethal those kitchen staff can be, and is quite confident that that rat will be no more within a matter of moments. But is a big fan of balance and fairness in wizard duels, and so to distract Thraz then from being able to contribute to Ilore's wizardly dual pursuits. He is not going to lick Thraz because it's well established that's something he enjoys. But the familiar will absolutely kind of bend down and just like start licking Thraz on the inside of the ear.
So the unicorn is going to try and distract Thraz, preventing Thraz from adding that 1 point to Iluve. I like it. Very well. Going for the second round, what is it now? What is going on now, Dale? What new method do you want to try to prevent the spread of these spores?
The very liquid cheese that was heating up to encapsulate is now hardening into a stronger capsule, hopefully to fully contain and almost, imagine like turn to stone, but encased in cheese.
I love how Dale consistently overestimates the strength of cheese.
Yes.
Like,
It's like, cheese can be
That
used to
doesn't
burrow
work.
through rock, right?
It's like concrete though. Like
it's
it
like
can
that's
get.
a commitment to the ideal.
Yeah.
No, it can do anything. I could build a bridge out of it. I was like, you can, but I could drive a car with my feet. It doesn't mean I should.
Tasty Play-Doh.
Ew.
Like,
Yeah,
clearly you're not
there's
in
a
the
thing.
cheese stream.
No, clearly not.
When you commune with it.
Yeah, the cheese community. You know.
So yes, this wall of cheese is now enclosing
making
a
a
shell
again.
around you, Iluve. What do you do?
I can make more of me. I don't want
So
to
you're
make
just
as
making as
I
many
can.
copies of yourself as
Yeah,
you can to sort of
yeah.
resist this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just
Once
be
again,
like,
evoke and your school of magic. So I think 3. Your cheese lord is still helping. So 4 for Dale.
and then like 3 for me because of the distraction.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Oh my god.
You can both use hubris.
I got a 5, and I'll use hubris to go to 6.
I got 2. I'm going to use hubris to go to 6.
Ooh,
Okay.
4. Okay.
That
You
would-
take a
these
level of
cats double,
instability.
don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be.
That'll be, I think, 2 points of instability.
Yeah, 2. So I'm up to 9.
He will
now.
do it for his Lord and Savior.
I love it.
This is the moment he's been testing me.
So, Dread, roll me a d6. Mike, roll me 2 d6s.
Roll a
And
D6.
tell me which one
Nah.
comes first and which comes second.
I've got a 4 and a 2.
Oh, thank God you didn't roll a 3 on the first one. Your senses begin to malfunction. The scent of cheese, which I imagine is fairly prevalent in your worldview, fails you. You lose the scent of smell as the world becomes, you can smell the fungus. You woke up and smell the fungus for the first time, and it is repugnant. Your senses are now malfunctioning. You occasionally get tinnitus, your sense of smell goes haywire, your sense of sight, it's like someone inverted the colors on the world. So yeah, it's
I'm
very
processing this. Like, he doesn't know he's not a cheese. Like, he has the senses of cheese. He isn't aware of smell or taste. He isn't aware of touch. He has potentially gone too far into the source.
The second one was it
was a 4 and a 3.
A 4 and a 3. Oh yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read this off the page. Bound to a chaotic familiar. The cheese wheel is now permanently part of your sort of existence.
A king of cheese.
The Lord of Cheese blesses you and says, "My son, you have served me well. A part of me will now be with you forever." And I think which a part of you, and you can decide which, now becomes cheese. And at will, you can detach it, and it can be its own being if you wish it to be. It is a familiar for you.
Oh. Ooh.
The unicorn just
He would
kind
give
of
his
slowly
right arm
turns its head,
for a deity.
recognizing one of its own.
For a deity, he would give up anything he could, so he'd give up his own arm.
So his right arm becomes cheese.
In fact, let's say both his hands, his prayer hands,
Right.
are now detachable cheese hands, like Bing.
Yes. Dread, what did you roll for your second?
I rolled a 1.
Oh, that's interesting. This says always drifting away. That could mean physically, it could mean psychologically, it could mean spores.
What's drifting away? Everything or something? We
You
don't
are
know this.
The great thing
always
about this
drifting.
is designed to be open to interpretation. So your second level of instability is that you are always drifting away. When Geo rolled this one, we ruled that sometimes he just isn't there anymore. He's a sloth that just teleports sometimes, and we don't know how he gets where he got. It's just like he's the character from Zootopia who's just like, yeah, that sloth character, and he's just like, how did you get over there? You were here, and you're really slow. And it's exactly that character. So with him, it's that. With you, I feel like bits of you are always drifting away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. It's just copies of copies of copies of copies of copies of copies of copies.
Yeah, I think whenever you walk around, you occasionally just leave one of yourself behind, like it copies off and wanders around for a while before disappearing or popping back from whence it came. Yeah.
Yep. I like that.
And you get regularly accused, from now on, you will get regularly accused of doing things you didn't do.
That's so good.
Cool.
I love it so
As there
much.
are so many, this is caused by you just summoning so many of you to fill this ball between you. There is no, however, result. Basically, it is an immovable wall of cheese facing off against an unstoppable amount of Eluves. And what is happening between Gonzo and Thraz while this is happening?
Thraz's ear was being licked. The inside of his ear, I think, was being licked. So for a moment there, he said, "Stop it!" And then he's going to not viciously, but nip the unicorn on the nose.
Ooh.
To warn it to stop because he is very ticklish.
its brief scream of pain is just kind of amalgamated into the constant sort of screams of pity that it is emitting at any given time.
Yep. Its life is agony. This has changed nothing for it. What do you do, Gonzo?
I think Gonzo just like tilt his head a little bit so that the familiar unicorn's horn just like gets that sweet spot at the back of the gnoll's ear, maybe, and just like gives a little scratch and gets the leg going. Just again, concentrating on keeping this duel fair.
Right. Okay.
One of his feet is starting to shake a little. Stop.
We go for round 3. Final round to see who can achieve the most potential. Dread is up by 3 points. So let's roll them bones. 3 again for Iluve, 4 for Dale. Let's see it. And neither of you can use hubris this round.
I have a 5.
Ooh.
Falls in your court.
You can do it.
6. I got a 6. I got a 2 or 3 and a 6.
Jesus, why? In my final hour!
Oh, the feels!
So, I think the crushing wall of cheese eventually just parts down the center as this hundreds of Iluves fall out of it, mushrooms and spores scattering around them. The spores have been badly burnt and trampled by this exercise. However, the damage is done. The 2 copies of him got away before you could prevent them. You may still be able to resolve the situation, but not like this. You tried, and Lord and Savior, Jesus is... There is another way. It would sort of, the big wheel of cheese whispers into your ear, Dale. Follow the path. Find the being at the center of this maze. It controls the spores.
At the mess of described cheese plastering all over the walls, and I look for any patterns that might seem like guidance from a higher cheese-based power. Don't forsake me, Jesus. Show me the way.
The through your newly christened cheese senses, the lines on the walls are now distinctly flowing down and have taken on the color of like a warm brie.
With my new cheese string fingers, I trace the wall holding them as I follow the path.
They are warm and welcoming in your hands. Iluve, you are distantly aware of your copies as they are spreading the words of your new
Down with
faith.
the false prophet of Jesus! Oh, we'll
You
be
doomed us all!
fungus!
Fungus!
One, the bringer of the field! And then, spread! And
Yes!
spread!
I want to just go back to what Mike said just a moment before, because I did catch it just. I believe it was something along the lines of you were supposed to destroy the fungus, not join it.
Oh my gosh! Yep. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
And you thought the Honkdra was chaos. Yeah. Look.
Oh my god.
Yes, Ardana had a Honkdra in their game earlier.
What I love about Gonzo as well, because of the hat, Gonzo is essentially wearing camouflage right now. And so, like, he's among the field. They're just like, I haven't noticed. I can walk amongst them. Which is...
Yes. The unicorn is a little bit more chill now. He's calmed down again a bit. So, what happens? Is Dale pursuing the words of his Lord and Savior?
He is tracing them with Baby Bell and cheese string hands.
Gonzo, are you sticking with Dale, or are you what's going on?
Oh, it's so tempting just to see how this mushroom revolution happens. But Gonzo will follow Dale. will kind of turn back. Actually, won't even do that. So we'll communicate with the familiar, telling them to pass on the message through the spore network. That is as fun as becoming one with all of the things is. There is still a vermin problem to take care of, and those vermin may well, be good hosts for the mushroom spores.
This is pointed out through the network to Thraz and Iluve.
Yes!
Brad! Just like using all my secret portals and just like, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that this was definitely not the plan you had for the secret portals.
I just wanted to quote the Swiss cheese thing, the antithesis of the cheese,
Yeah.
like the idea that like the negative space in a cheese, like cheese space is cool, but like
Is that why we're naturally opposed as two creatures?
that's what I was building. Yeah, I'm the space between.
Right.
That was my thing.
You're the absence of good.
Yeah.
I'll never understand.
He's the absence
Why
of
do you
Gouda.
say Jesus?
Yeah. So like there's like now this network of portals out there with like other copies of this character wizard, which just like spreading the spores. And now there's a cheese rebellion. So like
So you head on down the corridor. DM frantically tries to get his very rudimentary notes back on track.
Something cheese mushrooms.
That wasn't in my notes at all.
really
That was
well
made up. You head on down another 50 meters or so. That's all you had to do. And you find the door to an old classroom down here. The desks and chairs are all pushed to one wall and discarded. A small river flows up through the pavers and across the room before pooling in the corner, surrounded by mushrooms. The island this creates on one side of the room is lush with plant life. Not just mushrooms, but ferns, bushes, even a small palm tree. And moss, and reclining upon it is a large assortment of animals. Several snakes, dozens of mice and rats of various sizes, everything up to about minion size. A few frogs, a giant snail the size of a Mini Cooper, and an owlbear cub. And in the middle, in a dazed but happy-looking humanoid with a grubby white toga. She has blonde hair and one of her wings is a bit singed, but she seems not to notice. She's just there, just hanging out, surrounded by these animals.
Hi.
Hey, you made it! Thraz! Iluve!
Hi.
Come. And, yeah, you do not hear this being's thoughts, but you've never met them before.
Would I be completely absent to everything, or would I notice everyone else is perked up?
You can hear what she's saying. She's not saying it in her heads. And yeah, you would notice. Actually, what you would hear is Jesus speaks once again in your ear and says, "This is the thing. She may help, but first you must help her."
I approach, following our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's guidance.
Gonzo,
You say one of their wings is damaged.
the wing is damaged. However, it's not badly. It's just singed. She's taken a fireball or something in the recent past.
Okay.
Gonzo.
Gonzo's just gonna approach cautiously, not knowing who this is. What manner of being are you?
Dude, haven't you read about me in your books? We've had another donation. We are, yes. It has been observed, less than $200 dues from our second goal, Russell and Loose. Thank you very much, you bloody two. A vast matey, you wee scallywag. That's so cool of you. Thank you, Rusty. She goes, yeah, haven't you read about me in your, books and stuff? I thought this was a school, guy. I'm like an angel or something. The name's Angelica, ironically. Angelica Christie. Which was a bought NPC I did not do that.
Yay!
Somebody else did that. I think Lilith.
So cool.
I think there was a Lilith one. But yeah, both of these adventures had bought NPCs in them. I'm slightly saddened you didn't get to meet Snivel the Kobold.
Oh, Snivel! What's up? What's up, buddy? You want some mushrooms?
Snivel cheese.
Snivel's not there.
Was Snivel one of mine?
That's right.
Yeah, I think so.
That's right.
It might have been
Yeah.
Dak, but I have a question mark next to it.
I Snivel the whole time.
Yes, Snivel was just the kobolds we found along the way.
Oh, no, is it Gonzo's hat? Oh, okay. All right. That's enough.
Oh no, that's a unicorn.
That's a unicorn.
Which isn't better. She goes, so like, what are you guys doing down here?
Am I here? I don't think I am, right?
You can all hear it.
I'm just going to outright say blasphemy. And then just go quiet.
She goes, oh,
There were-
strong word, dude. You may all make ponder checks if you like.
Can I ponder? I think I can ponder. Let me check.
I think
That's
I
like
can
if
ponder it.
if you are familiar,
I'm good
if you're
at pondering.
good at pondering, you can do it.
I rolled a 5. I will use my final point of hubris.
Hard saying,
To
but I'm nowhere close to
up
the
that.
final point of view.
I have got a 6. The
Excellent.
one skill I'm really good at.
Okay, so those who pondered
have
and
hubris.
succeeded. Well, first me roll that. Roll me that instability.
What do I roll for that?
A d6.
A d6. That is a 3.
You're sprouting mushrooms.
More mushrooms. Incredible.
Yes.
I
I was
kind of-
already spreading.
I kind of want you to roll again.
Okay, cool. That's a 5.
A 5. Ooh. This is interesting. You become a sleep wanderer.
Oh.
So, and I think the way this manifests is every now and again, Thraz just falls asleep, but no one kind of notices. And sometimes Thraz will just be asleep. He'll still be there, but he's asleep. So, when major things come up in the future, I will roll a d6. And on a 1, Thraz is asleep. It
Like
can be
that.
quite inconvenient. But for now, those who succeeded on the ponder notice that Angelica Christie has an arrow in her head.
That's not a mushroom.
No,
Oh, jeez.
That's not cheese.
it could be. It does initially. It doesn't. From the angle she was sitting, you didn't notice it at first, but as you come in and she sort of looks around a little bit, you notice a decent-sized black barbed shaft is sticking out of her head, and it's clearly like in a good distance. And it wouldn't be that much of a reach to A, determine that that is a demonic arrow, and B, that it is probably impairing her mental faculties somewhat.
Small question.
Small answer.
Would the tissue around the arrow be considered dead tissue?
I will allow it.
Oh,
Feather.
that's not looking good. Hold
What's
still,
not?
maybe.
What? And she
Head-
tries to
head
like
arrow.
see it. Head arrow? Where?
You, hold still.
What?
Do not move. Do not be moving. Do not be moving. Do not be moving.
This
Please
is.
do not be moving.
I have
I would like to-
decided ahead of time. This is a Major Magicka situation.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is. This will take all 4 of you working together to heal this being.
Okay.
This is a demon arrow in the brain of an angel.
Heal.
Needs help. So if you're going to extract this, Thraz can definitely take the lead. The way a Major Magicka situation works is one person must evoke. The others can do whatever they want to help, can make whatever check they like to help. But the
Excellent.
evoker is the catalyst and therefore is the sort of the focus for the good or the bad that occurs. You can all
That's
use your School of Magic if it is appropriate. You cannot, however, use hubris or resistance.
Okay. So here what I do. May need help. I will get dead part of Angel around Arrow.
What dead
And-
part? They got dead bits?
A little bit. It's okay. But pardon me. But
It's a
I
flesh
get
wound.
dead bit of flesh, and have it help crawl Arrow out of head.
Right,
Ah.
right.
I've
Should
got
I,
something
like-
you can get out of my head if you want.
I'll help you with that in a minute, little dude. But first, I think I gotta get a thing out of my head.
Yes.
Okay. Let's all, like, focus on getting things out of heads. And she is going to assist as an entity, Thraz's role, which means Thraz gets another dice. How do
So that
other
is
people
4 dice.
assist?
I will flood the wound with molten cheese, keeping it both sterile
Uh-huh.
and prevent any barbed arrowness from ripping out more damage.
Okay. Okay. I don't know that cheese is sterile, but sure. Yep.
It's more sterile
It's
than a
hotter
demon
than
arrow.
this.
Look,
Relativity
you're not
man.
you're not wrong there. Donna.
I think
Or anybody else. Prometheus.
Gonzo's going to draw on their knowledge of assorted angelic demonic arrangements in a variety of universes, mostly through threats from those entities that he's received as a consequence of having kind of dipped into them at some point.
Yep.
And is going to just try and access some of the, I guess, more celestial power from one universe in particular that had just this really arrogantly over the top righteous kind of angelic creature have a go at him this one time, and is going to try and draw as much celestial energy from that universe as possible, and use it to expel this demonic arrow.
Okay. You can. I would say that would probably be evoking as a skill. But yes, you can absolutely use your School of Magic. How is Iluve assisting?
Brothers and sisters of the fields, join me in choir. Let us sing the song. And I'm going to usher back and get everyone to sing the song that's always stuck in our heads to assist. Thraz, with the operation. So like everyone's singing that one song, and as it's singing, as far as we've drifted, the actual voice, if you're okay with this, Josh, joins in with us all singing. So perhaps we have found the artist out there among the stars. No,
Yeah.
we're not gonna take it.
Um,
We're
We're
not
not
gonna take it.
anymore. As you I'm gonna call this portal magic. And I'm gonna call this both your schools of magic. You only get 1 dice for it, but you're definitely using your schools of magic here. As you open a portal to this other realm, and this being, this entity, this shining, radiant rock god arrives, and he is chanting this song with you. As you create more of not just yourself, but also Thraz and all the other animals in the room. You are just multiplying everybody as they all join you in this glorious chorus. The Jesus leaps out of Dale's fingers, lances gently but firmly into the brain meat of the angel as she sits there somewhat beatifically, smiling serenely as the cheese lances into her mind, while Thraz convinces the wounded and dead flesh around the wound to expel the implement that has been inserted into her brain, while Gonzo floods this being with his own brand of entropic radiant light. She raises up, glowing, perfect and serene, as the group sings, "We're not gonna take it.
No,
But we actually might take
gonna
it.
take it.
We're gonna take that arrow from your skull."
This is not actual medical advice, guys.
No.
You know, if you
Either
actually
way,
have a serious thing, particularly barbed arrows, leave
You have
it
a
in
demon.
there.
Please consult your local Fletcher and/or medical professional.
Yeah, or exorcist.
Yes.
Like, get a demon arrow in your head.
Yeah. Make me those rolls, please.
How many dice am I rolling?
Sorry? You are rolling your... I think all of you have managed to work in your School of Magic, so 1 for that.
Yep.
You have Iluve, Dale, and Thraz all have assistance from entities, so you each get a point from that. Plus, whatever ability that you are trying to utilize, it sounds to me like you're all evoking.
Yeah. Okay,
so-
so I've got 3 dice.
Out two.
Okay.
So there's only one person rolls, right? Or...
No, you all roll.
We all roll?
And
Okay,
all that
I'm
we
rolling
add
3
all
then.
of the
This is
sixes
the
together.
Major Magicka. This is
Yeah, okay, so
everyone
we all
doing
need to
the
get a
thing.
6. Okay, cool. And
I got
Ideally.
2 6s and a 4.
2 6 is a good
I've got
start.
1 6.
And a third 6.
I got a 5, and I'm not allowed to use hubris, am I?
You can't use hubris.
Alright.
1/6 then in that case.
1 6. So 4 all up. 4 6s is pretty good. So there
I
it
got
is
no
a
6, I got a
sliding.
5.
Yeah, but Terris got 2.
Oh, Terris got 2. Sick. Heck yeah.
So Major Magicka results. 4 6s is a grand success. The wizards accomplished what they sought out to accomplish with an added benefit determined by the GM. The catalyst gains an instability. So, can I roll a d6, Terris?
Yes. That is a cocked. Give me a second. It's a 1.
Chicken's back.
In fact, given that you all did evoke, you're all the catalyst. So you all gain instability.
Incredible.
Yeah. Below 5.
Roll me a d6 for everybody. So, Terris, what did you get?
A 1.
A 1. You have an ever-shifting visage.
Oh, goodness.
I want to say that your face becomes that of this gleaming entity that comes in singing the rock god. And it shifts. Sometimes it becomes Iluve's face, sometimes it returns to your own. Occasionally it becomes minions. But the people in your life that you care very much about, your face becomes that of them every now and again.
That's amazing.
There you go, there's that. How did everybody else do? Promethean?
We'll first say to Thraz, I always knew you had it in you to be more than you actually are, and here it is before us in physical form. Roll a 5.
5. That's a Sleep Wanderer as well. I'm actually going to ask you to re-roll, because Sleep Wanderer we've already had.
That is a 6.
Yes! You can now... That radiant light that from where you summoned it, you can now always hear them from beyond the plains.
Ooh, so here's the problem with multiversal entropy magic, is in drawing them through, especially that kind of celestial magic, I feel like that universe itself is probably going to have imploded. And so as they come through, what probably everyone in the room is going to hear is just the screams of celestial and demonic and mundane beings just screaming in terror as they are blasted out of existence. And then the remainder, I guess, will just be stuck with me for eternity. Yay.
Yeah. I think you are in a constant state of hearing the end of universes.
Great.
I'm sure it's going to be great for his mental health.
That's yeah, exactly. That's Gonzo's earworm. This is like much better than whatever the hell that song was. This is like music to Gonzo's ears.
Iluve, how did you do?
A 5.
A 5, and this is your third one, isn't it?
Yes.
All spells are now chaotic and difficult to safely control. I mean, we assumed that.
Oh, chaos.
Find something that wasn't this stream.
And Mike, I think this is your third as well, is it not?
It is, and I rolled a 3.
A 3. Oh my god. I'm going to read this verbatim. Become a vessel for a troublesome entity.
Oh lordy.
I think lordy indeedy. I think you, in this moment, become the avatar of Jesus.
The hands that originally were cheese extend all the way through the body, and I become this giant golem of cheese that then contracts into the rippled, hard abs body of Korean Jesus. Or Jesus.
Yep.
If it's a troublesome
Does anybody
entity-
remember that statue? How scarily ripped it was.
No.
Oh gosh, it was I can't remember what film it was in, but they basically made a statue of Jesus. They made it was the Korean Jesus, and it looked like he'd eaten nothing but protein since the dawn of time. Like, we're talking like Dragon Ball Z level Jesus.
Oh wow.
ripped. Jesus.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Jesus hasn't
you've
seemed
got-
super troublesome up till this point. Does this mean that like Jesus actually has some kind of super secret dark
I think
agenda?
like with the
Always cut the
troublesome
cheese.
thing,
That
with
one.
the troublesome thing, was more like it seemed too good a fit for what had happened up to this point. So I think he becomes a vessel. I think he will. This will be troublesome for him.
Right.
But yeah, it's more just it was because otherwise the other option was he gets the spores too, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to fundamentally force that upon a player.
Fundamentally, yeah.
Fondue mentally, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
No, it's
glowing light fades as the being returns. The wings are furled out behind Angelica Christie as she lands down on the floor. With the river is flowing a crystal clear, the river is almost glowing through this room, and she places her hands upon Iluve and Thraz and says, "You must quiet your minds that you may truly hear." And she is going to break the curse of the mushrooms upon you, not denying you your oneness, but denying the force that empowers you to force it upon others.
Oh, I make a big mistake with Minion.
Maybe they get the curse broken about the whole like spreading thing.
Minion didn't make it.
Minion.
You could probably bring him back again, but Minion was stopped
do later.
before he managed to vomit into one of the cooking pots, the cooking pot was thrown out anyway, and burnt. She turns to Gonzo and says, "You have done me a great service, my friends," and places her hand on Gonzo's shoulder as well. And she purges the mushrooms from the unicorn, if Gonzo would like her to do that. Basically, she is giving Gonzo a gift. What gift would Gonzo request from this angelic being?
Oh, take these ones out of my head. I have no interest in hearing their complaints.
She removes the voices. As in the voices from beyond the realms that are screaming in panic, yes. She goes, I could understand why that would be troubling. Fundamentally, she's actually pretty much stripping away a level of instability on all three of you. And then she turns to Dale and says, "You as well, though you have already received your gift, and it is not mine to give you. The issue you have with my little friends here, I will be no further trouble. They and I shall retreat." And she looks over at the entity that arrived at his glowing, marvelous form. And it's Twisted Sister, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember the name. Like, I don't know the lead singer of Twisted Sister.
Jay Snyder.
There you go. That one. And says, "I am in your debt as well, good sir. And they go, "Stay real, sister. Brothers." As he looks at Luve and Thraz, goes in for the bro hug.
Yes.
Spore on. Huh?
Spore on indeed, but only with consent, because consent is sexy.
Yes.
Is that Link saying spore on?
Yeah, it is. Linky,
Spore
say
on,
spore
little
on.
bro. Spore on, little
Say
bro.
spore on. Yeah.
Nice.
I love him.
Well,
Great kid. All right. As they open a portal, or say actually, "Hey, friend, could you do me a favor? Gotta get back to a performance. You can come too if you like."
You know
Yes.
what? Let's go. Linky, seriously. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
Gremlin.
It's the goblins. Oh, it's
This
a good
one's
time
also
to...
tech goblin. Yeah. So let's go.
Yes.
The portals are opened, and you eat yourselves through to go to the concert with Twisted Sister. Dale, you are welcome to go through the portals with them, or you may seek your own way.
I think I would just separate myself from this realm, because I would have lost what would be my mortal ties, and I would find a way to go from town to town as a bearded wizard, spreading the good word of myself, Jesus Christ.
You're the avatar of. You haven't become the cheese deity. You're the
There you go. So as the avatar
final...
of Jesus Christ, I'll be going out to spread the good word.
Mm-hmm.
Or
amazing.
Making sure
You could do that at Twisted Sister.
Probably could, actually. It'd be a hell of a way of getting an audience.
So,
yeah, I could be a cheese groupie.
Cheese groupie. How about Gonzo? What does Gonzo do? How does this story end for Gonzo?
I think he'd go out of his way to kind of deprogram as many cheese groupies as possible, subtly, kind of over the years, in general.
So you all go to the Twisted Sister concert, with different agendas. Some to spread the spores, some to spread the cheese, some to make sure the cheese and spores are not spread.
Yeah, no one needs that kind of idealism in their head. What's the point of that? No,
Meet back in a year for the aftermath.
To be fair, I think that Thraz is going there to try and get a certain somebody to fall in love with the gnoll at the rock show.
Oh,
Pretty good mushrooms for that.
solid. Your next hubris is free. Make a note of that. Very good, Terris. Roro, thank you very much for the donation, you bloody champion. And I also need to say, Pieces, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. And Russell on the Loose, subscribed, you bloody champion. Thank you so much, you excellent individuals. We are, and this is true, 11 followers away from 800, which is a big number to have reached within 2 years. Pretty excited. Yeah. Guys, I think we'll call it there. An amazing session of Major Magicka. I hope you enjoyed. It is a wacky fucking system. And it leaves us, conveniently, plenty of time for our favourite moments. And the way I like to do it over here, this is something I borrowed from Dread. I've stolen it, precious. But we have modified it slightly, because now I make the audience choose who gets to go first. Microbiologist, can you roll me a D5 in chat, please? Exclamation mark, roll space the number 5. Terris being 1, Promethean being 5, we will see who gets to be flattered first. And we go around the room, and everybody flatters that person, and then they have to do a favourite self moment. A D5, a 1, it is Terris first. Favourite Thraz bone grinder moments. Guys, what do we think?
Don't you? You just have to deal with it. I love the entire concept of this adorable smitten gnoll. I just think conceptually that just absolutely is brilliant.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
follow on from that because I'm reasonably confident it was not Terris's initial intention to have Thraz be absolutely smitten with Aluve.
Indeed.
And it just came up in character creation, like at the beginning, and you just went with it. And I was like, this makes total sense. I really love it. How you just, okay, I can flip my character concept on the fly, absolutely, and just, it worked. It worked super well. And yeah, you nailed it.
I'll take that because like it's definitely a player moment for me, and one of the reasons I love playing with Terris is because he is willing to go with anything that is brought up at the table. And when you have that sort of like when you're performing with someone, like, here's a thing I want you to do with something, and then they're just like, thank you, and then they just take it and with enthusiasm do something, the whole table just comes alive. Like it, and it's so good. And the more you do it, the more you promote it, the more people will, become infected by that way of playing, which is like a sport. And that's great, because like you feel like you're in a collaborative space. You feel like there's nothing that you wouldn't do that wouldn't be accepted and used. So again, I love it every time.
I'll add to that because I'm a very different D&D player to a lot of you guys. You're all online. You've played together quite a lot. I'm kind of a physical table DM anyway. I've not played online with any of you guys before, but that open nature has made it seamless for me to join in. Like I was never out of it. It's just like I was a member of this party before the party was formed. This was great. So that attitude that came forth and the adaptability, not just from one side of the table, but all around the table, it really made it like that was kind of like the starting point of it being so open. In a performance aspect, obviously the chat before the game, the building, everything's great, but when the camera turns on, you're actually live and you're playing with people, you don't know what their boundaries are in terms of like, oh, we all have our veils and we have our lights, but when you're actually having a conversation, it's like, no, you're touching my characters, no, like that's great, and it's made it a lot easier. So thank you all, but certainly thank you for opening the door.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Terris,
You guys are
favorite
great.
self.
Our
Bloody
favorite
champion.
self moment. It's going to be a little bit funny. Sticking his tongue on everything.
How does it taste? I want to know. Yeah. Agreed.
Well, I
Solid.
feel gnolls don't get poisoned very easily, so how does
That's fair.
things taste?
And you have to build up that
I stick my
resistance
tongue.
and keep that level up there. Yeah.
Yes,
Alrighty,
I
can
stick
I
my
get
tongue
For
on
the
it.
knowledge.
Yeah, the knowledge. Yep. Got to ponder that shit. A D4 in chat, please. The puns. The pun game has been very strong this afternoon.
Wherever I go, puns follow.
Yeah. Come on, a D4. Oh no, here we go. Mike Moans rolled it.
Here it comes.
Roll space, the number 4.
Roll space.
There we go. There we go. A
3.
3. That's Mike.
Self-roll.
Nailed it. Let us flatter. It's hard to go past the Dale Wensley. Just the entire concept. I was like, Dale Wensley. I've had a couple of pun names in this 24-hour marathon, and like Geo did Xavier Hart, and I was like, that's very good actually, Xavier Hart, and Dale Wensley, and both of them were I read verbally in my head, which is why I read quite slowly. I cannot read faster than I can talk. So I heard it when I read it. I heard it in my head, and Dale Wensley, I think I see. Yes. Jeez. Okay. Good. Yes. And just the entire concept was beautiful. I love how whenever I play with Mike, there is some bizarre form of inherent continuity with the last time it comes back along.
Last time I was the Mushroom King.
Yeah,
Now
last
I'm
time you were the
opposing
Mushroom King.
mushrooms.
Oh, I should have voted back full cycle.
I've got to say though, Josh, I've never even heard of this system. But the fact that you could play a cheese wizard alongside a portal wizard, alongside a licking things gnoll and a unicorn hat, it's a really flexible, fun system.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
certainly things like this, where we're not planning on doing massive long-term stories with it. We're just having fun and silly. Like this system just lends so well to what we do as one-shots. So no, fantastic. Thank you for bringing it to my attention and letting me be part of it.
It is by the wonderful, it is a solo developer, little indie developer, Devin Nelson, and it's a little PDF. It's like 25 pages long. You can get it on itch.io, and I got it through. There was a fundraiser for it was a massive bulk lot of TTRPGs for trans rights in Florida. And it was like you got 500 odd files for like $25 or something. Yeah. And I was like, I have 2 years worth of stuff to go through on this, and I had to look at it and a bunch of others on a Tactics Tuesday, and I was like, this is neat. I want to try this. So I got a bunch of people, and I did, and we wound up doing a 3-part series with it because it's just a fun little system. It doesn't particularly suit long form play. The level up system is basically you get a point to add to a skill or increase a new skill or something, and you, in between sessions, you can try to reduce your instability. But if you top out and you become an entity, which I think basically Dale Wensley did, you just create a new character. You're not at a massive disadvantage by just not having as many points as somebody else, because you can just lean in and be good at one thing. It's a really, really great system, and I hecking love it. Yeah. Other favorite Mike moments. Let's not flag the game. Let's favorite Mike.
My turn. No, you go.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
okay,
go
I'll
you.
go. Mike, I absolutely loved Dale's complete belief that cheese can do anything, can be anything, can fix anything. And I just absolutely love that. It was like so core to his character, and just like even when things were bad, he thought they were good, and it was just an absolute riot to watch and interact with. So, thank you for playing him that way, because it was great.
Jesus Christ bless you.
Okay, Mike. I loved every single moment. Role playing and a rivalry can be difficult, but I felt comfortable enough to do it with you, and I want to thank you for that, because it's not something that I usually do, but that's what we decided in the character setup, which was really fun to explore with you. But my actual favorite moment was just your imagination. I love imagination. I love creativity, and I love how we can be inspired by it, and also have a good way of like exploring our own. It invites everyone to do the same thing. The cheese wizard actually reminded me a lot of a good friend of mine who I get to play games with whenever I get the chance. Dapper Boar. He has the same wacky, amazing imagination where he comes up with these cool concepts, much like this. Like, he played a present golem, which was made out of all presents. Like, it was like it was like all wrapped. He also played a pumpkin head, a guy that just used ropes. But the cheese, I was not expecting a cheesy wizard, and the puns were just like for days. So like, I had so much fun because
I'm so cheesy.
I love puns. They were cheesy. I love cheesy puns. But it takes skill to be able to pull off a cheesy wizard, and you pulled it off. Heck yeah, I loved every single moment. Would play again for sure. I would extra cheese, please. Extra cheese, please.
To keep him around on a table somewhere.
Yeah,
like he's never been used before. This was like a concept based on a miniature I painted, and then I went, nah, I can't just let him sit on the shelf. Let's do something with this. Yeah. And then this opportunity arose, and it was like, this is his time.
There's this wizard that I have that's obsessed with frogs. I can only imagine like the wizard school of just like specific frogs, everything frogs. Like, it's frog crazy. Like, their whole wizard tower was just filled with like frog related things, including a froghemoth. Yeah. Oh yeah. They were
homebrew would be amazing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but heck yeah, I would definitely like, it's the cheese wizard. Yeah, heck yeah. My favorite moment was the cheesiness of it all.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Promethean?
I'm not sure it does take a lot of skill to do a cheese wizard. I think it could be cheesed pretty easily. But that aside,
I'll play that. There
were a couple of specific moments that stood out for me. The cheese blades running along the side visually for me, just incredible. And the fondue form. this
Undo
close
form.
to just absolutely losing it and just having to take myself to the side for a little bit to recover. It was beautiful, truly beautiful.
Thank
Favorite self, Mike?
you. My God, I only play D&D as a cleric. That's like 99% of what I've done. I've done a paladin for a one-shot who was a weird kink goblin. And outside of that, it's always been so rigid to just be able to go, nah, I'm making a bridge out of cheese. I'm making a golem out of cheese. I'm doing all this. The rules don't apply to me. I'm just a cheese wizard. So being able to not only suggest it, but have it followed through in the vision that I put forward, it just led from one moment to another. So then being able to combine that into a wizard duel where it was like mental chess, but every move was like high-fiving each other, like, yeah, we did a good round. Like, that was brilliant. So again, ready for that. That was great.
Yeah.
And
I really love that moment too.
and I also thank everyone else for not getting too involved, but flavoring it really nicely, that it felt like a rewarding moment, not just a flex of a gameplay mechanic or a character. So really enjoyed that.
One of my favorite things about rules like games is they invite like really good collaboration and imagination and creativity, because it's not written down and we have to figure it out together. And you know, the spirit of TTRPGs is collaboration and sharing. So yeah,
100%.
Alrighty. Well, we have flattered Mike. We have flattered Terris. Let us find somebody else to flatter. I'm going to roll a d4 and hope I don't roll a 3. I rolled a 3. I'm going to roll again. That's also a 3. Stop rolling 3s. That's wow. Okay, a 1. We're talking about Dread. There we go.
Yay!
Favorite. How is it pronounced?
I had it as Ilor, but you guys,
okay.
I liked Ilor, but I liked what everyone else was saying. Ilor is like way cooler, but no one changed it. So like the idea, because I've had a character before that was like, I don't have a name. You can just give me whatever name you want. That's fine. And then the party proceeded to give that character Daddy. So that was fun for the whole session. But like it's a fun little creative thing. You know, because like it doesn't truly need to matter what it's pronounced apart from, you know, running a game or whatever. But everyone subscribed to Ilore, and I like that a lot. But I had it as Ilor, yeah, without the hyphen.
Alrighty. I was reading it off my screen, and it's written in flowy text, and I thought the R was a V, so I was saying Aluve.
Yeah, I like that too.
We were all using V's, I think, for a while there as well.
Yeah.
I felt like Matt Berry saying it, like a Matt Berry pronunciation of it.
Aluve! Father!
Yeah.
When I realized, I decided that Gonzo was going to pronounce it differently each and every time he said the name.
Just like,
My brain
the I is
just said
silent.
something terrible, by the way,
Oh.
because I've got a half-drunk bard in my head at all times, or a half-deaf bard in my head, and it was just when a spore hits your eye from the mage running by. That's Lore.
Good.
I am so sorry.
Oh, I love it.
Not be.
Don't be.
And your favorite moment for your set, Terris. Well done.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Favorite Dread moments.
Oh, my boy. My boy.
Hello.
My boy.
Hello. I have to say, I absolutely loved that when you got that level of corruption, or whatever you want to call it, and just the way you turned on a dime and hit it and ran with it, and was just, yes, I have become the spore. You know, fly my pretties. It
It's
was
so much
just,
fun.
oh, the entire game turns on this moment, and the chaos reigns, and I loved it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I am a chaos goblin. I love your chaos. I think our energy together is just great,
100%.
and it was great. in that
100%.
moment. So,
Oh yeah.
thank you so
100%.
much for that. That made my night.
I would
Thank
say,
you.
I'm trying to think how to phrase this. It's knowing knowing that I'm going to be able to A, get away with it, and B, like I was able to guide you back to a positive resolution without, like, I was able to de-escalate without trying to without feeling like I was blocking what you were trying to do. I loved your willingness to let me do that, your willingness to collaborate with me on that. It was your knowledge of, this is definitely what I'm going to do, and I'm definitely going to lean in hard, and I love that you did, but at the same time, you're like, but I'm also open to other people deflecting me away from that. Being open to that story being changed for you was very cool. Of the, okay, well, we're not actually going to get to the end of the narrative that the DM has prepared if this happens. Yeah. Hey, this was 45 minutes of a day of yesterday.
Yeah. That all comes down to like a love of collaboration and also a trust. You know, I always try to trust everyone at the table, and that's something that I truly believe in, is that like if we trust each other, we're not protective of the things that we want to do, you know, so we can still have the things that we want to do, and that's great, and we can celebrate that. But when we trust, magical things happen, mushrooms happen, and it's you get crazy stories, and it's one of my favorite things about the table. So I'll always trust everyone that I sit at the table with, because I don't think they're trying to like block or ruin my story. They're trying to tell their story with me. So fellow storytellers. Yeah, I truly do love TTRPGs. I don't know if you know this about me. I do.
Oh, that explains a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Because like it definitely you still get the lizard brain reaction of it. You still be like, it's pinging. It's like, oh, I was trying to do a thing. It's like, well, Josh is also trying to do a thing. We're trying to do a thing together. Let's do it. Yeah.
Oh, other one. I have a sneaky second, but it's also a sort of a me thing.
Seconds.
Letting you sort of just handed your copies over to me. Like,
yeah.
My instinct was I can be the voices. You've just created NPCs. Fine, I'll be the voices. And then you started doing it, and then we were like, oh, who's doing it? And then you were like, no, here. And then you handed them to me. I was like, okay, fuck it. And the way you did it was, one of them's a pirate. I'm like, fuck. Okay. That's fun.
Yep.
One of them's vintage.
So much fun. Yep.
One
of them
vintage.
vintage. Yeah, vintage. Yeah.
All right, other people flatter dread, because we have another game to get to.
Mike,
Just the sheer flow of that duel, that it never felt we were against each other, and we just built each other up, which is great.
Yeah.
I've never run a wizard duel in this before. It's never come up. So this is a part of the system. I read it and I was like, no, I don't really like that. I don't like PvP. I'm very often it's a knee-jerk. No, that doesn't make me comfortable. It gives me anxiety. But you guys played it so lovely that it, as you say, it did not feel oppositional.
Yeah, it's tricky. Because any conflict in any story or game, especially with players, and this is my take, my 2 cents, you need to either have a development or a resolve, right? So you're like, we're either developing the relationship to a new stage, or we're resolving and we've gotten over it and we've established that, right? That's my take on it. So I feel like we were developing a lot over the whole, like little bobs and little things here and there, and it eventually got up to that, and that's why it felt really good, you know?
It was nurtured, it wasn't just rushed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tightrope Tiger, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. You know, Dread, I find I get more followers in this bit of the stream than any other. Like, it'll be...
I miss favorite moments so much.
This is why we've collectively stolen it from you.
Yeah, it's because I'll say it once, I'll say it again. It builds everyone up, and it helps people with their creative confidence. And you know, I got oodles and oodles and oodles of creative confidence, so I love sharing it and I love celebrating it. So it does take a little bit longer, but it's an investment for everyone involved.
Absolutely worth it.
It's great. So
I gain from doing it for several other reasons as well. Like, as you said, all of the things you've said are true, but I also find analyzing what you did well and what other people did well will absolutely help you grow as a 100%. DM and as a player. Having other people say, that, I fucking loved it when you did that, will help me go. Often I'm like, I didn't even realize I'd done that. I've had several times where I'm like, it has become a major plot point that I hadn't even really like made a thing of in my head. I was like, that happens. And they go, that was super cool. I'm like, well, it's a meaningful thing now. It actively helps develop stories for me. So anyway,
and it
keep
builds
distracting
everyone
us.
up.
Tangents all the way. Stop it.
I'm an
Promethean.
old wizard now. Yep.
That's right. I'll just bust on in and stop the two of you from talking.
it.
So there's a lot to favourite about Dread. Josh, I think, stole my favourite one of kind of handing on a silver platter just this awesome NPC. I'm going to stay in the same theme, but going to make it much more simpler. It was the simple term taste buds.
I love the taste buds so much. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely floored me. You took like this cool little narrative moment that had happened and this awesome little sequence, boiled that down into 2 words, and just like dropped it out there like it was nothing. It was golden, absolutely gold. I loved it.
Not gonna lie, I would watch a show called Taste Buds, and it's just a bunch of wizards going on a cooking adventure around all different countries. Yeah.
If that doesn't exist
Duplicating
already.
and masticating.
It will now, and then this is where you saw its origin. Hey,
Thrice.
thanks for joining it.
Favorite self?
Oh, me? So my favorite self. Gosh. I would say for me, it was more of an energy thing. So one of the things that I have to be careful of for myself is that my mind goes, you can probably tell that my mind goes very fast. So I've got to like make sure that I'm not too much at the table. And if you're too much at the table, that's fine. That's a whole other topic. But I was really proud of picking my moments and not picking every moment. So for me, my favorite moment was the moments where I was keeping an eye on that and then just like putting myself out there, but also not like overwhelming the table. That's something that I work on a lot, and I did really well tonight as well. And instead of like trying to like take scenes or like having really big presence at the table, I look for ways to reach out to different players and different things I've noticed about their characters and what they're doing. And I think I managed to hit everyone at the tables, including the GM. So there was always me trying to, hook my character to what they were doing or into what they were doing, while at the same time, not just dragging it over here or over there. The only other thing I will say is that, there was another one. You know what? I really like getting into a rules light, open, creative space. So jumping in and being like, I can summon portals everywhere, and they don't have any duration. It takes some bravery, it takes some understanding of the GM and the table, but once you get in there and it's a lot of fun, it's really great, and I loved that for myself as well, gameplay wise. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I am the Swiss cheese. I am the negative space of the slice. That was so much fun.
I love the setup for that, and then you just flipped it. I'm like, oh, actually, this is super useful for what I'm now going to do. Lazarus, could you please type me that !roll space 2 in chat to determine whether it's me or Promethean who gets flattered next, or I will be forced to roll my doubloon.
Doubloon it.
Doubloon it. All right. I am going to I am the doubloon side. It's me! Okay. We will talk about me then. Flatter me, mateys.
I go first. Josh, oh my gosh. This is the first rules light you've run for me because I loved it. I loved it so much. There was so much space for creativity, so much celebration and warmth. And it was one of those things that I love about rules light that you embraced so naturally, which is anything is possible. Let's see what happens. And the chaos, there was no limit to it. You embraced the chaos and you were able to flow with it rather than trying to control it, right? Stop it here, move it there. It's like, no, we're over here now. No, we're over there. Oh my gosh, there is a giant mushroom cult going out there and spreading. And it's a wonderful thing. And it takes it, like, it's a skill. It's something that not every GM can do. And you've developed it, and I can tell you've developed it. So it's very, very, what I want you to say is keep like honing into that improvisation, because there will be very little things that you won't stump you, right? And people will feel more creative because they're not going to be told no, which is so good. Love it. Every moment. Yep. I don't think there was a moment that I didn't enjoy.
Thank you very much.
You get the illustrious everything. There you go. That's yours. If you've done favorite moments, you know what the everything is. Yeah.
Lazarus rolled a 2, but we have already begun on me. Thank you very much, Lazarus. Anyway, yeah, we are just trying to keep things rolling quickly. Yes, other people, go. Sorry.
Again, just piggybacking off that, the absolute flexibility that even though none of us really knew the rule system, by about 3 minutes in, we already established what the soft boundaries of this universe were. It was just like, yeah, just have fun with it. It was like, yep, we're going, bam, confident, let's all run at it. Fantastic. And it didn't seem like you had a narrative in mind that you had an iron grasp on. It was just like, we get there when we get there, kids. Like, that was great. So, yeah, very open and flexible, comforting, and confidence building in a new system.
Yeah.
I'll double or triple down on that though, and I think I've said this before in previous sessions, Josh, is it's like you're incapable of blocking stuff. Like you just accept it with open arms and run with it. And I think this system probably lent itself to that as well, which is awesome. So it's like a brilliant combination of your innate ability to just take what you're given and run with it, and the system itself being catering to that exact chaotic nonsense. So, and it's appreciated. It's fun.
Thank you very much. Terris?
I am going to say, Josh, your use of NPCs, the way they come in, all of that, like, just on a dime, you've got them there. And, like, for instance, the way they interact with our characters, knighting Thrads with a soup ladle. Things like that, just all these little interactions, you make them real for us. And in a way I can't put my finger on it, but how to articulate it, but you make them real for us. You make the world so much richer with your NPCs, and I love them, and I love you for doing it, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
My favorite self was it's weird. My favorite self was the other adventure I wrote, which was far more fleshed out and involved you saving a baby dragon and a kobold from ripples in space-time. And I loved the adventure I didn't write, and you guys took the one that I was like, this one's alright too. Like, I have to write a second. And you guys went and did, like... So I pitched both adventures to a different group of people earlier. And they were like, oh, obviously the kobold one, obviously the baby dragon egg, yeah, absolutely. Then all four of you, without exception, were like, oh, no, we're fucking doing the kitchens. We're absolutely going to the kitchens. I'm like, of course they did.
We've got a cheese wizard,
fucking...
man. Like, there's no way this is going any other way.
Yeah.
I love that you did that. I love that you went there, and then I love the story that we made with it. This was my adventure, and it was... my face hurts. So I love the adventure I wrote that was, again, like, Dread sent me a thing a while back of, basically how does GM real quick, like how to save yourself time.
Lazy Dungeon Master?
Yes, the Lazy Dungeon Master. And I read about the first 2 chapters of it, and then I got lazy and didn't, but
it's on the title, right?
The big thing I picked up from it, it's like learning to speed read. The faster you get, and the big thing I picked up from it was how easy it is to prepare very lightly, and just what you need to make notes on. And so my big takeaway from it was I taught myself how to prepare 4 sessions exceptionally rapidly. And I prepped this whole thing, both adventures, in under an hour and a half. And
that's amazing.
The two things The 2 things I did get, the 2 adventures I had, were one was find somebody/something off campus, echoes from another world causing panic and confusion. That was the other adventure. This one was deal with a threat in the college depths, entity doing something weird. And that was the story prompts that the rules gave me. And beyond that, I fleshed that out in about a 5-minute walk with the dog, and then I came home and sat down and wrote about half a page of notes.
The one thing that I'll just say quickly, and I know we're on time limit, is that book is so good. The one thing you take from it, and you've got this, is prepare what benefits your game. It's your game. You know what you need. Like for Mike, it's amazing physical miniatures and painting and like freaking cats behind GM screens, and for me, it's like chaos. Or I've got my stuff
Chaos!
as well. But yeah, it's and you smash it really good. So I'm glad you read it. It's so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, spread the gospel of that. It's excellent. Let's talk Promethean.
Yes.
And then we will go away from here. So, favorite Gonzo moments, favorite Promethean moments.
The creativity
unicorn
it got
hat.
from unicorn to
You go.
mushroom.
Oh,
Sorry, I think we're doing the
Yes.
same thing. But yeah,
You go.
kind of went quiet and then suddenly went balls deep, and it was just like, yes, this is great. So yeah, just the ability to use a moment that was already two big things going on, and then go, no, there's a space for me. I like this. Let's jump it, and it was perfect.
I loved
Attach stuff to it. Electrify it.
so I've had a few people build characters in this system before. We've had a luck wizard. We've had a couple of necromancers. We've got one. Ardana is a necromancy and light. It's dark and light, which is kind of fun. But the idea of a wizard whose magic is powered by the entropy of other universes I was just like, ooh, my hard sci-fi loving brain freaking loves that idea.
I did that just for you.
Yeah. I was just like, that is a freaking cool idea. There is so much potential in that. I was just like, my only issue with it is I can't think of a situation in which it wouldn't be useful. But that was a really well selected game mechanic because you fucking broke the game with it.
And that was for me.
Yeah. It was smart. It was also really cool. It was really characterful. It was just fascinating. It was a really interesting idea.
Promethean.
So,
Oh, you want to go?
oh no, you go. You go.
Stop being polite.
Okay. Have you met
time.
me? I don't know what to do there. I am polite. Promethean, you are one of my favorite style players, which is the listening player, but also the big
Yes.
thinker. Entropy? Are you kidding me? Let's go. So like you had this core idea, and you can see that you're always looking at what's happening at the table. You're listening. You're thinking about how to apply, how to bring your character in this, and how can it's one of like I have had many listening players before, and I love having them at the table, both as a player, being a player, and a GM. So I look over and you're thinking, you're listening. You're like, I got my hat. I can bring my hat out soon. I've got like even like the stuff that's happening with the voice. You're like, no, it would work like this because the universes are in entropy. They end. I hear the screaming and then and the dying of divine and celestial beings. And then you also have like the rock music that you applied it to as well. It's like I don't want to listen to that song, and it was just considered, which I love so gosh darn much. Now for entropy, I love that idea so much, and I wish we had more time at the table because I would have had something to do with you with like the hole inside the cheese. The slice is the entropy of the cheese, so you should join me,
Negative
right?
space.
Because you think of a universe and you think of entropy and it disappearing or being pushed back. Like it would have been a very cool character arc for our characters. So I knew it was hard for you to play that line between the two, the cheese and the shroom, but it was fun. So thank you so much for being an amazing player and listening, which is a very, very good skill to
Amazing.
have at the table.
Yep. So yes, first of all, the unicorn hat
Oh
familiar.
my god, it's nuts.
Amazing. But just the whole idea behind it and the fact that I think it was you that said, no idea how you don't want to know how it came to be, kind of thing.
You
Just
want to see how
all
the
of that,
sausage
just-
is made.
The whole idea that it's very cute and very funny, but it's terrifying as well. And that duality of it. And the duality of your character in that same way, I think. So,
Balance,
yeah,
I'm
I
all
love-
about it.
Yeah.
You're all about balance, and I love that.
I am the cheese bridge.
You were the cheese bridge all along. You were the one that kobold us. That didn't make sense. That's fine. We
He's a goblin.
bound us? Yeah, I know he's a goblin, but like, I don't know. You unicorn does. Okay.
Favorite self.
Oh, yeah, it's a self. I was also a fan of the sentient unicorn familiar / hat, which was a very last minute decision when I saw the option of having a familiar on the in the PDF. That made me very, very happy. Other than that, yeah, same kind of deal. I like that Josh liked the entropy idea because that was the point of it. I was thinking back to our Teens in Space game. And a couple of the conversations we had around the drive in that kind of early stage of that game, and I was like, oh, what kind of push Josh's buttons here? And yeah, sure enough, I seem to have at least prodded one of those. So I'm glad that was the case.
Press this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, I pitched an actual method of faster than light travel, and they were all like, fuck it, sounds great, let's do that.
Yeah. But let's power it with groany laughs.
Yeah. And I was like,
every bad pun. That was what
it.
Powers it.
Bad puns, yeah. Alrighty, well, guys, we have been going for a good long while, but it is 2 minutes past the time I should be starting a Zoom call for the next group, because we have 2 brand new players joining Midnight and Madness, one of them permanently. So, excitement. Yes, I have now over 40 player characters in my Humblewood world. Tales of Pesh, another Josh, I believe the 5th Josh. So far on this International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day, which is appropriate because there are a lot of Joshes and we're all great. So Tales of Pesh will be joining us, as will the lovely Ellie B. So stick around if you want to see who the heck they're going to be playing. One of them forever. Well, not forever, but for a while anyway. So is this the Battle of the Joshes? No, we Joshes cohabitate very peacefully.
Yeah, the Council of Joshes. We don't. It was the Federation of Joshes. One of the two.
It's the Federation of Joshes. We don't do the Council of Joshes.
Yeah, we don't do the Council of Joshes.
That's a Rick myth. That's yeah.
Yeah, no, you are right. You are right. Federation of Joshes. We get along.
Yeah.
The Josh gang. The Josh.
The Josh, yes. One with the Josh. Be one with the Josh. All right. Guys, thank you so much for all of your donations. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors, you bloody champions. Thank you guys coming and playing with me and lending your incredible talents to this very silly system. Russell and Luce, thank you so much. Go cook for your wife some cheese and mushrooms. Hopefully later we'll see you. Yes. And we will be back in 5 to 10, guys. Thank you so much for playing with me. Say goodbye, everybody.
Love and luck, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Stay cheesy. Whee!